It's the Mixed Martial Arts Hour with
Let us introduce the real UFC light heavyweight champion, the lineal champion of the world, the one and only Daniel Cormier. Let's clap it up for the man. There he is, shirtless. How about that, my friend? Congratulations.
I'm just waiting right now. Selena's digging through the bag trying to get me a sponsorship before I get into trouble.
Oh, okay. Well, I like this shirt. I thought, man, living the dream over there. Sponsor, yeah. Who needs a sponsor? Look at that.
Oh, stop. Damn, stop.
Where's the belt?
Oh, you want to? It was right on. It's on my island in the kitchen, next to the rest of my belts, because I was trying to do a picture this morning. I don't know if you saw it on Instagram.
It's fantastic.
It's an unbelievable picture, man. Like I literally was sitting there, and I sent it to my managers, Bob and Dwayne, and I said, guys, we've done pretty good for 5.5 years, you know, and they said that needs to go out to the public. I said, yeah, I'm amazed.
Unbelievable. Very happy for you. Congratulations. I'm wondering right off the bat, what, you know, this has been a very, very, look at the smile on your face. I love it. This is
I can't stop it. It's like I'm trying to be serious, but I cannot stop it right now. I'm seriously trying.
This has been, it has been a very intense debate. Is Daniel Cormier the real champion, paper champion? Are you hearing this a lot, or is it other people talking, you know, away from you? Are you getting this from people?
I hear it, man. But you know what, man? I've got some great fans and friends because they defend me. You know, I've said it time and time again that John disqualified himself from the competition. He took his name out of the hat. He's not an option anymore right now until he gets everything right outside of the octagon. You get to choose who you want to be your champion. You cannot pick Jon Jones. He's disqualified himself from competition, and there's nothing we can do about that. There's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing Anthony could have done about it. We can only compete to the best of our ability for what's available, and that's the UFC Championship. Ariel, I am proud of what I accomplished the other day. I mean, not many people ever get the chance to stand inside of the octagon and wear the UFC title. I'm proud of that.
Let me ask you this. I know you're an intense competitor. In your heart of hearts, will you only truly consider yourself a champion until you beat Jon?
You know what, man? I would love to fight Jon again and hopefully beat Jon. But when they put that belt around my waist, I'm the UFC champion. They don't do that. They don't just give away those titles, man. And they didn't say, here, Daniel, here's your interim title.
Yeah.
They said, Daniel, you are the lineal UFC champion across the board. When we go through the books, as I said in the interview, I said, Ariel Helwani, when you look in the record books, there will be no asterisk next to my name as I'm the UFC champion. There will be no asterisk. There will not be a pause. There will not be a space in between Jon Jones and me as the champion. We will flow just like Jon flowed from Shogun Rua, as Shogun Rua flowed from Lyoto Machida. Machida went from Rashad Evans. There will be nothing different. So in history, it will go down. You know, back in 95 when the Houston Rockets won the championship.
Yeah.
At the time, everyone said, well, the Rockets aren't the champions because Michael Jordan was playing baseball. So they would have never won if Michael Jordan was still there to play. When we look back at the Rockets now, nobody says, well, it's only because Michael Jordan wasn't playing. They say the Houston Rockets were the back-to-back NBA world champions, thanks in part to the great John Starks.
Come on, man. Come on. I'm
Zero
trying
for 18.
It was 1 for 18, by the way. It was 1. He made 1.
He made 1.
Yeah.
0 for 18, John Starks. Thank you for shooting the Knicks out of the championship series.
Okay, I'm going to try to be happy for you here, so I'll ignore that. You told me before the fight, you kind of shocked me. You said, I don't really need this. I want it, but I don't need it. I don't need it to complete my life. I have a great family, all that stuff. Now that you want it, do you still feel the same way, or do you think things would have been incomplete without it?
I feel the same way, man. Like, I mean, I think that's what actually allowed me to win that fight. I was able to just let go and just go and compete. I'm glad that I talked to Jon when I did, because I was starting to do it again to myself. I was starting to put that pressure of I have to get this one. I have got to get it done this time. I cannot not win this fight. And I do it to myself over and over and over again. And this time I was actually able to let it go, and it allowed me to just do what I do, and that's just compete.
Is that dipyourcard.com?
I can't find my dipyourcard.com t-shirt, man. I'm screwed.
Well, we'll give them a shout out right here at dipyourcard.com. I see them on everyone.
Dipyourcard.com. How you guys doing? I cannot wait to dip my car.
Okay. So you reached the mountaintop. You've been waiting for this moment your entire MMA career, and the mic is put in front of you for the first time, Joe Rogan. The first thing you think about is Jon Jones. You don't say anything to anyone else. You drop the mic. It's the promo of all promos, one of the greatest, top 3 greatest promos in the history of this sport post-fight. Why in that moment, though, are you thinking about Jon Jones?
Because he beat you. Like John beat me, and I just beat the guy that a lot of people thought was going to beat him. So I'm like, you know what, man? I still want to fight him. You know, I want to challenge myself against the best guy. You know, he's good. You know, I think more than anything what Saturday night showed is how special the kid really is if he can get himself and everything else in order. To have beaten me and then for me to do what I did to Anthony Rumble Johnson, that's crazy, man. So, yeah, I want to compete against him. I hope that he does get it together so that we can fight again.
Have you heard through the grapevine at all that he was watching?
I hope he was. Could you imagine him sitting there watching me, of all people, get the belt? Do you know how much that – I mean, if the roles were reversed, I would be going insane if I had to watch him do that if I was in his situation. You know, I mean, he doesn't want to see me win. He doesn't want to see me carrying what he probably feels is still his title, which it isn't. It's mine. But he doesn't want to see that. You know, and I don't know. Maybe John's in so much of a better place now after going through the issues that he has had that he's let everything go. But we'll see, I guess.
A lot of people thought Lorenzo Fertitta was mad at you. He gave you the stare down of death as you walked out. Is that the case?
I think maybe I cussed, so maybe that's what it was. But no, Lorenzo was fine. We actually talked after the fight, texted, and he was very happy. I talked to him on Saturday night after the fight, and I talked to Dana on Sunday. And those guys are extremely happy with my performance, and they're happy that I'm the champion of the UFC. I believe that I will represent this sport in the best light possible. I won't mess it up. I won't get myself in any trouble. I'm going to live my life the correct way, and I'm going to be a champion the kids can look up to and hopefully aspire to be like.
When you spoke to them, did you get any insight into what they want to do with Jon or what they know about Jon or what's next for you? Did you talk at all about that?
You know, man, once I got out of the octagon and I was able to kind of just get back in my environment and start to kind of think about what I had just accomplished, it wasn't really about Jon anymore. You know, I didn't think about Jon anymore. So Lorenzo and I, we talked nothing about Jon. Dana and I talked nothing about Jon. They allowed me to have my moment, which was great, you know, because when a guy does something that he's been chasing for so long, you know, you owe it to him to give him his moment, you know, let him bask in it for a second. Let him, you know, kind of bask in what he had just accomplished. And those guys actually did that for me. You know, these two guys, you know, Dana and Lorenzo are great guys, and they gave me an opportunity, and I took advantage of it, and they told me that they were very happy and proud that I did.
I love the Rogan interview. I love the Bader thing. We'll talk about that in a second. But really, my favorite thing that you said was the story about you and your fiance, Selena, and your parents and siblings pulling together around $500 just to help you survive. So I want to ask you, when was the first time that you thought, wow, UFC champion, that's something I want. That's something I want to be called. Was it before the Olympics? Was it as a youngster in Louisiana? When's the first time you thought that, wow, this is something I want? When did that dream start for you? How long ago?
You know, it wasn't UFC champion. It was to fight in the UFC. I watched Brock Lesnar and Frank Mir, UFC 100.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, this is crazy. If I ever got to compete in something like that, that would be great. When I talk about my parents, you know, it was just tough, because Selena and I were just starting off. We were just starting off. We moved to California, to San Jose, which is very expensive. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
And-
Bless you.
Sorry. We wanted to live on our own. We were expecting our first kid, and I would get my cage fighter sponsorship, and our rent was $1,300 a month, and my cage fighter sponsorship was $1,500 a month. But I also taught private wrestling lessons so that I would raise my income to probably about $2,000 a month, and that's how we would live. So it was tough, man, and a couple times we didn't know what to do. Now, when I say welfare, like I mean, we weren't getting like any government checks or anything. We were getting like WIC and stuff, like to help buy formula for our kids and everything. And I just want to maybe kind of explain that a little bit better, but we just didn't have, and we were fighting in the best way that we could to try and make our lives together. And now it's kind of working out.
I want to ask you the same question I asked Chris before his fight. Was there ever a point where you were, sleeping next to your fiance, your future fiance? Maybe your kid is now in the world, and you're thinking like, man, I'm just not making enough here. Like I'm the provider for this family, and this is a great dream and all, but how much longer can I do this? Is there a light at the end of this tunnel? Did you ever doubt that this day would come?
You know what? I never did, because she would never allow me to. She knew that it was something I wanted to do. And when I would start saying stuff like, Selena, I've got to get a job. And she's like, no, you don't. You need to train. Continue to get better and improve. And one day it's going to work out, So, and plus my manager, man, like my managers, like if we ever were needed, like we're dire need, they would always come to our aid, At one point, we've had guys that have owed our management team $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 because Dwayne and Bob will just take out of their own pocket to give to you. So now that we're making money, I have no issue writing those guys checks, because when we had nothing, they would actually just pay it. When my sponsorship checks were late sometimes, didn't come on the first of the month, and my rent was due by the 3rd, Dwayne and Bob would write me my sponsorship check at the beginning of the month to make sure my rent was paid, and then they would just wait for the check to come in to get paid whatever time it came in that month. They just made sure that we were always okay.
Wow. What was
there's no company like Zinkin in MMA. These guys, Dwayne doesn't need mixed martial arts. They don't need mixed martial arts to live. Bob's a great businessman. He's done great for himself. They don't need this. They do this because they love their guys. They want to help, and it shows. That's why we're all so fiercely committed to our management team, and you see them having some of the biggest name fighters in the world.
Maybe the highlight of my weekend was meeting your mother, Mrs. Cormier. What a moment that was at the weigh-ins. A lovely lady. What was it like when you showed her the belt? And I also saw, and I want to get your take on what was it like in this moment, I saw your fiance holding the belt right after. Like she was clutching onto that thing like it was, the most prized possession in her life. What was it like when you got to finally look at them and share this with them?
Selena was just like, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. Because reality is, all we've known in terms of a UFC champion is Kane. And we've seen what it's done for his life. So she was just like, I can't believe it, And my mom is 73 years old, and she's quiet. And the story of her actually walking up to you was surprising, because it's not something that I would have expected her to do. But then I think about it, I'm like, that's exactly what she would do, because all she watches is Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2 with the hope of seeing me on TV at some point. My mom used to watch the Weather Channel for 10 hours, and she's all, boy, there's some bad weather in Russia. I'm like, what do you care about the weather in Russia, Mom? And then she's like watching the Weather Channel. Then it was CNN, and now all she watches is UFC. She loves Fox Sports 2, and she goes, well, that Ariel Helwani, he's a pretty nice guy. He works with you on UFC tonight. So she saw you, and she went up there, and it was great. Like my dad was probably the proudest. He was just standing there smiling, and my dad's a big old guy that's worked 25 years for the city of Lafayette, doing the baseball fields and cleaning bathrooms and doing all that. And that's a big, burly, hardworking man that doesn't smile very often. But this dude had a smile across his face that it just warmed me inside, man. So showing them and giving that back to them, it meant the world to me.
Did Schwarzenegger make fun of your belly?
He did. He goes, I think I might have saw a 2-pack. I go, well, you'll never see a 2-pack right here. I go, it's fine though. I said, don't worry about that belly, Schwarzenegger, Governor.
Did he show you love?
He's a great guy, man. Crazy thing is, Arnold Schwarzenegger is very good friends with my manager, with Dwayne Zinkin and his family. So yesterday, I get a call during my travels back from Las Vegas, and it was Dwayne going, dude, I just got a message from Arnold, and he played it, and it was Arnold left a voicemail on Dwayne's house phone, because Dwayne still has a house phone for some reason I can't explain. And Arnold was like, great job, guys. You have the best management team, and awesome for Cormier. What a great guy. Way to really get after it. And Arnold's a great guy, so there are plans for us to all get together for dinner.
And how about this? You're the champ of the world. You reached the mountaintop, a great moment, and yet you had to drive from Las Vegas to San Jose 9 hours because you missed your flight. Is that true?
Ariel, I didn't miss my flight. I made a Selena, be quiet. Don't talk. Selena, don't talk during my interview. 12 hours yesterday it took us to get back from Vegas with two toddlers, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, because Daniel can't read the date when he's booking airline travel. So I booked my family's travel for Sunday, thinking it was Monday, and the UFC moved mine to Monday. But because we're 4, there were no flights coming in from Las Vegas to San Jose one way, San Francisco or Oakland. So we ended up having to pile into a minivan, which, by the way, Selena refuses to drive anyways because she doesn't want to be the mom with the minivan. But we drove 12 hours yesterday from Vegas to Gilroy, and we got home at 12 o'clock in the morning last night.
How much would that drive have sucked if you didn't have the belt with you, right?
If I didn't have the belt, I probably would have just stayed in Vegas. Like, there was no way. We were going to wait probably. Actually, we would have still drove because I wouldn't want to piss Selena off any more than she's already mad at me.
Okay, so what about this Ryan Bader thing? Holy moly. Where did that come from? Where's the animosity? Where's this coming from?
Who, Ryan? Ryan's learning from the Conor McGregor playbook of building a fight. Like, what is up with Bader? Like, I don't mind Ryan Bader thinking he deserves a title shot. I understand. Ryan, due to process of elimination, you're pretty safe, buddy. You don't have to come and interrupt a press conference. I mean, you're the number 5 guy in the world. Rankings are going to shake up on Monday because I just beat the number 1 guy. Things are going to happen. Just wait, Ryan. It will happen for you. But Bader, I don't know if I made Bader mad in New Orleans by just messing with him the whole time, trying to sell the fight, or what. But somehow something switched in Ryan Bader, and he turned into an angry guy and just kind of attacked me at the press conference. I'm just an innocent bystander. I'm just over here trying to hang out. I played no part in that deal. I don't know what's wrong with Bader.
This is my press conference. Get the F out of here.
Thing is with Bader, though, he started since the beginning of the middle of the week. You know, like he's like sending me messages on Twitter for some reason I don't even understand. I'm like, well, Ryan, I've got a fight to get to. So the crazy thing is, I think after I beat Ryan Bader, he should have to go get beat up by Anthony Johnson for being so disrespectful to Anthony Johnson, because he was acting as if I beat Anthony before we even fought. He's calling me out for a title shot. I'm like, hey, I've got to worry about Anthony Johnson. I'm over here worried about Anthony, and you're trying to call me out. That right hand that Anthony Johnson about knocked me out of the octagon with, Ryan Bader would not have gotten up from, and I think that's his punishment for disrespecting Anthony Johnson. He gets to get beat up by me, and then he gets to go and fight Anthony Johnson, and Anthony will beat him up too.
Deep down, are you just like,
what?
Are you just licking your lips? Are you just saying like, oh man, if my first title defense is against Ryan Bader, you called him the easiest fight. Is this a perfect scenario for you?
Well, I don't understand. If Ryan has fought all these guys, the top guys, and he's lost to him, how all of a sudden does he just think miraculously he's going to match up so well against me? What's he going to do? Like, what's he going to do? I understand. Ryan Bader wants to fight for a title. Great for Ryan. I could respect you, Ryan Bader, because you're a wrestler. I'm a wrestler. I could respect you. But now there's no respect because of the way you handled the situation. Bader talked about he wants to kick my ass if Rumble doesn't do it on Saturday. But I mean, whose ass is he? The thing is, Ryan Bader has done something so phenomenally spectacular. He's got everyone to talk about him. It's unbelievable that Ryan Bader's name is coming off of someone's tongue. Ryan Bader doesn't get in. I saw somewhere today Ryan Bader is actually going on a radio show. I don't think that's ever happened in all this time that Ryan Bader's been fighting, and he did it by interrupting my moment. I mean, good for you, Ryan Bader, I guess. Hey, hats off for Ryan Bader. I don't know. He must be talking to McGregor or something. McGregor's got him. He's the teacher.
So do you think that's next if it's not John? Has to be, right?
Again, process of elimination.
Yeah.
If you look at the new rankings that came out today, I'm 1, Anthony's 2, Gustafson's 3. The guy, Bader's right behind him. Anthony and Gustafson are coming off of losses. Ryan Bader, you're next, bud. You're going to get exactly what you wanted, exactly what you asked for. I hope you make a good fight of it, because if you don't, you're going to get embarrassed.
And by the way, so now we have this situation where it's probably Bader. I mean, do you feel like this is almost a good thing for the UFC, because now you have all these matchups? You've never fought Gustafson, you never fought Bader. All these guys that Jones already beat. It is actually kind of a fresh coat of paint on the division. Do you feel like you're almost a good thing for them?
Man, I'm telling you, man, because John beat everybody.
Yeah, it's
John
weird.
beat everybody.
Yeah.
He messed up the division. He beat everybody. Like, there's like 8 guys. You go when a guy defends his title 8 times against 8 different people, it really throws the division in a tailspin. But now, like you said, I've never fought Gustafson, never fought Teixeira. All these guys are in play now, so we'll see how long John's situation takes, and even if he does come back, I win the fight against John, I win the rematch, and I can still fight all these new guys.
Last thing, was that the hardest you were ever hit in a fight when he rocked you early?
Man, I've been in a fight, yes. But Ariel, I tell you one thing. This was not a right hand. This was a right missile. It was the fastest thing. It was the fastest punch. I literally was on my feet from the next. I'm like laying on the ground. I saw a picture of the fight. And I'm like, oh, I took a nap like Nick Diaz in the middle of the octagon. I was just kind of laying there like, what am I doing from my feet to the ground so fast? So I try to pop up, and I look behind me. I'm like, oh, my goodness, he's coming back. And then I look behind me, and Anthony Rumble's chasing me, trying to finish me. But my whole deal was, don't allow him to get the follow-up shot. The follow-up shot is what's going to put you out of this fight. He got so excited that I was able to actually take his back. And once I got my hands clasped, I was okay. I wasn't necessarily, like, dizzy, though, Ariel. Like, I fell down, but I wasn't fuzzy. It wasn't like I was seeing 2 of them or any of that. I just got knocked down.
So you then submit him, and then he goes on the mic and says, "Don't quit," which some people kind of laughed. And then he puts the belt on you. What'd you make of him afterwards?
Man, I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what to make of it. He's a nice guy, and I think maybe he showed exactly how nice he is after behaving in the way that he did. A lot of times it's tough. Losing a fight is tough, man. And in your darkest hour, I guess your true colors show. And Anthony Johnson is made of gold, if you ask me, for the way that he handled that. What he did for me on Saturday, Ariel, was he made my experience different. By putting on the belt, he made my experience of being crowned a champion different than anyone else in the UFC's history. Nobody's done that. So thank you, Anthony Johnson, for making my experience different. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you.
Well done, my man. Everything was perfect. I thought the walkout music was perfect. The fight, the post-fight interview, everything. So well done. What do you want to say? Yes.
Very close.
Yes.
I was very close to using "Y'all Must Have Forgot."
Come on, man. Don't say that.
Dude, I was very close to doing it, and guess why? Because going into the fight, it was just weird how much people thought I was gonna lose.
Yeah.
Being that I had only lost one time, and I know it's about. A lot of times it's like your last memory of a person is what sticks in people's mind. But I was like, man, let's not forget I had won 15 straight fights. So more than anything, the reason I used that LL Cool J song was because if you listen to the very beginning of the song, he says, "Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years," which is exactly how I feel. This wasn't a comeback fight for me. I felt like I was going to win this fight. And we have to be a little broader in our opinions and in our perspectives when it comes to fighting. The last memory of Anthony Johnson on Saturday, don't let that change what you feel for Anthony as a fighter. This guy's a phenomenal fighter, and going into his next fight, he shouldn't be considered the underdog or people believe he's going to lose just because of what he did last time. It's all matchups, and I knew that I matched up well against Rumble Johnson.
Great stuff, DC. So happy for you and your family. Congratulations, my friend. An amazing performance. You are the champion of the UFC's light heavyweight division, and you certainly deserve it. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much, Ariel. Guys, do yourself a favor. Go to YouTube. Watch UFC 166. Practice walkouts with Adam Geller. It's the funniest video you will ever see in your entire life. Hey, and the Seth Rollins celebration from WrestleMania coming. I am waiting for Ariel Hawani's email.
I gave it to you.
The moment you send the email, I will send you guys the Seth Rollins celebration just like I promised.
You're the man, DC. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had a nice run-in with John Kavanagh back in Dublin when he had, I believe, 4 fighters on that card. And after every fight, he would come back and put up a finger. 1 down, 3 to go. 2 down, 2 to go, et cetera, et cetera. They swept the card, as you may recall. Cathal Pendred, Gunnar Nelson, Conor McGregor, maybe Neil Seery was the 4th in case, am I forgetting someone else? You get the point. Anyway, I told him before UFC 189 that, and Neil Seery, of course, not a member of SBG, I know that, but maybe I'm thinking of just 4 Irish guys. I feel like I'm forgetting one. The point is, before UFC 189, I told him I was expecting the same if it went his way. It did not go his way, of course. Pendred lost. Gunnar and Conor won, but I'll never forget seeing him after, because you have to understand, John Kavanagh isn't one of these Johnny-come-latelys. You know, you may have heard of him only recently, and you may think that perhaps he is... you may have heard that, he's kind of like the Greg Jackson of Ireland, et cetera, but this is a guy who is really an Irish MMA pioneer. You know, this is a guy who has been there from the get-go. This is a guy who, Conor McGregor says, if it wasn't for him, he probably wouldn't be who he is today. He had to come back to his house and drag him back to the gym and say, we still have work to do. Your career is not over. And on Saturday, when I saw him after the McGregor fight, he really had nothing to say. He was very emotional. It appeared to me like he had tears in his eyes. It was a beautiful moment, and one that was very much well-deserved. If you think about grooming fighters from their amateur careers to this point in a very small gym, an unimpressive gym, to the UFC title, interim or not, whatever you may think, to a huge event like that in Las Vegas from a small little place like Ireland, that's an amazing accomplishment. And you think about that. That's not taking guys from Albuquerque or even Montreal, California. This stuff just doesn't happen in sports. Certainly not in Ireland. It just doesn't happen. And so we had to have him on the show to talk about what this means to him, to his country, to his gym. One of the best stories that I've seen unfold since I've been covering this great sport. So let's go back to the Scut Machine and welcome back once again the king himself, sporting the robe this time and sunglasses, the one and only John Kavanagh. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much. I've been looking forward to this phone call for a long time.
Yes, as have I. And where are we right now, by the way?
This is the Mac Mansion.
We're back.
I'm still here. I'm leaving today.
Have you had enough of Las Vegas?
Definitely. I've been here, it's been about 10 weeks now, so I'm looking forward to going to sunny Glasgow in 2 days' time.
Well, I appreciate you carving out some time. I know it's very busy for you over there, and you've got a lot on your plate. So thank you so much. Tell us. So what are we? We're 3 days removed. What's it like? Can you put it into words now? Because when I saw you immediately after the fight, it's a moment I'll never forget. It was beautiful to see, but you really had nothing to say, and it appeared as though you had tears in your eyes. Because I can understand. I don't fault you. It was very emotional. How do you put it into words now? What you accomplished with Conor McGregor?
Um, I guess there isn't really a way to do it. You get so many flashbacks of how it all kind of started with us, and meeting his mother there on the night and his family, and yeah, I'm better at arm bars and things than I am at trying to describe what this night was.
Did you have a chance to smell the roses throughout the week, from the weigh-ins to the calm before the storm on Saturday to Sinead O'Connor, all that? Were you laser focused, or were you able to appreciate the magnitude of what was transpiring because of you and your guy?
Yeah, I guess every now and again you have to stop. That's really the point of it all. Otherwise, what are we doing this for? And when we'd hear another new record is broken, or the likes, Sinead O'Connor's going to sing him out. There's just so many things happened in the lead up to this that made it obvious that it was going to be one of these nights. And even when I don't know if you saw, when I was leaving the cage. Um, I was walking back to the dressing room with Connor, and just kind of had arm around each other, and just kind of stopped on the walk out back to the change rooms, and just looked around the audience and went, "This is it. We're going to be old men talking about this moment. So let's just stand here for 2 seconds and look around and absorb it, take it in."
Thus far, what has been the greatest byproduct of this victory? A phone call, a message you received, anything in particular that really, caught your breath and said, "Wow, I can't believe how special this was."
Uh, I think it was my mother crying.
Oh, wow.
That'll probably be it. And I didn't know my mum and dad. They went to a party back home, and they stayed up to watch it. My dad doesn't stay up past 9 p.m. for anything. So the fact he was up at I guess it was 5:30 a.m. or something like that back home, he managed to stay awake all night to watch it, and was very proud. That was big for me.
Wow, it's making me a little emotional here. When did you speak to them?
I got a message right away after it. I wasn't able to call my man back until I guess it was about, I tried to call them about, I guess, Irish time, about 7 a.m., but they were asleep. But then I spoke to that evening. My mom was still aching, and it was very cool.
So let's talk about the actual fight here, because what I loved about it was Connor backed up everything that he said. He went straight for Chad from the get-go. Really, I mean, I think he almost caught Chad by surprise. Did you know he was going to do that?
Well, he's done a lot in all his fights.
Yeah.
He basically sprints across the cage, and it's two things. One, it does get them on the back foot, and once you start thinking defensively, it is kind of a slippery slope. And two is that I still don't think people genuinely understand just how much joy Conor gets out of competing. It's really his happiest moment. Said it before in interview, he doesn't have me giving out to him and tell him to mind the contact level. He can go as hard as he wants. And it was going to be a good challenge. Chad is a fantastic fighter, and he's so excited to see what's going to happen. Maybe the flying knee that caught me. But still, it was a good start to the fight. I got trying to live up to that incredible co-main event. So it was good that he got off to a fast start.
And he was taken down rather quickly. What were you thinking? Okay, great. Let's get this out of the way. Let's show the world that we're competent. Or were you at all nervous? What were you thinking at that time?
Yeah, I did raise an eyebrow at the choice of jumping into a flying knee. But it was nice within the opening 10 seconds of the bout to show that he can play guard, and it's MMA. It's you're going to be on your feet, you're going to be on your back, but he was back up within a blink, and again, I'm sure that was another small psychological win in the fight.
I thought Chad won the first round. Do you agree?
I think I read somewhere it was like a minute and a half was where Connor was on his back, in round one. That's 3.5 minutes then on the feet. And I thought for the 3.5 minutes, he was very much in control. And I actually just rewatched it this morning. And I noticed after about 40 seconds, Chad takes a back step and a deep breath. And I think he was already starting to tire within 40 seconds. I don't care how short your training camp is. That's nothing to do with training camp that's going to have you tired at the 1 minute mark. I think it was to do with just what it's like facing Conor and to be caught with some of those shots. Those front kicks, something we're working on, and those will take the life out of you. Obviously in boxing, it's boxers work the body, but you have to get on the inside. The nice thing about the leg, obviously there's extra reach on it, so you don't have to worry about the counter. But I guess in short, no, I think in terms of fighting, Conor won the first round. In terms of MMA scoring, which I really think has to be looked at again, I can see how in MMA scoring it might have been given to Chad, but I just don't think it should be an automatic round win if you get a takedown. I think we should be looking at other things, how the sway of the fight is going, which of the two look comfortable, with much damage was done, and Conor had that cut above his eye from one shot, but I think the writing was on the wall about how tired he was getting by the end of round one.
So obviously you guys were very confident going into the fight, but do you think it's a different fight at all if Chad does have a full training camp? Meaning, does it go into the later rounds? Does Chad do anything differently? Do you think it changes? Because that's something that will obviously be brought up. If they have a rematch at some point, that will be used, against Conor. What do you make of that argument?
Well, it's not come out yet, but I'll tell you.
Please.
We didn't do one live round of MMA sparring or wrestling for this training camp because Conor had an injury and we weren't able to train at full pace. So this wasn't us at full capacity either. At the party after the fight, actually not Saturday night. I didn't see Conor Saturday night, but on Sunday night we all went out. And we had a few drinks and we're sitting down, and I said, I've got to be honest, like when we were walking out to this fight, it was in the back of my mind we hadn't done a single round of live wrestling. And, I had my eyebrows raised and I thought, well, let's see what happens. And he was laughing at it too. Now, the injury is completely healed now, but it wasn't until about 2 weeks before the fight that we felt it was 100%. But we still didn't do any full rounds because didn't want to exasperate it. If the injury still was there, didn't want to bring it on. So really, the first round of full wrestling was done in that fight.
Wow.
And I think his timing a little bit on the sprawl and dealing with the shot was not quite there. Start getting better as the fight went on, but do I think a rematch, if it does happen down the line, would be different? Yes, for both of them.
So can you shed some more light about this injury? Because it was rumored for a long time. Is it the knee? Well, what happened?
I don't want to go into it too much. I'm sure it's all going to come out. I can just say that it's fine now.
Okay. No surgery?
No.
Okay.
As you could see in the fight, he was, that was the first full test on the knee. And he flew through it, and he was able to deal with all positions. There were some scrambles, there was a lot of wrestling, and it held up, and there's nothing wrong. So we're 100% confident that it's perfect now. But still, like I said, walking out, it was kind of funny. Those 100th of a second thoughts you get in your head that, all right, we're about to go into a fight with a lot of people say the number one guy. And he's this Division 1 wrestler everybody's always spoken about, and we've not done any wrestling. So let's see what happens. This is going to be fun.
After actually being in a fight and having to use the knee at obviously at full strength, the takedowns and all that, do you have any idea how it's feeling 24, 48 hours later? Did he have to go get it checked out? No problems, right? No aftermath issues? Wow.
Yeah, it's. I won't lie. It was definitely in the back of my head. And when Aldo pulled out, I thought maybe this is a good opportunity for us to pull out. But like I said, like I've told the story already, there was certainly no way Conor was having any of that. He was way too excited to compete. But now that it's all said and done, it passed with flying colours. There's no issue.
Was there any point before Aldo pulled out where you were afraid? You said, "This is too big of a fight. We need to delay this."
Um, it's kind of my job to weigh up everything.
Sure.
Uh, I look at pros, cons. I'll think about all possible scenarios. But when I spoke with Conor and I saw this absolutely unshakable confidence, then I knew it was the right decision. I knew it didn't really matter who it was going to be. The way he was feeling mentally about this, and like I said, the wrestler question has been answered a bunch of times for us over the years in the gym. Anyway, we have a lot of high level wrestlers training with us. So, coupled with that, I was absolutely confident that we'd made the right decision.
How do you feel about him having to stick around in Las Vegas to coach the Ultimate Fighter, and will you be a part of it as well?
To be honest, for Conor likes to be busy and he loves fighting. There's not a whole amount of other things he's all that much interested in. Like when we were here, Sunday was rest day, and we used to do kind of different groups of us would do different things on Sundays, like go to water parks or go downtown, or we had kind of different things we enjoyed doing. Conor rarely participated in any of those things. He just Sunday was rest days. We just stayed on the couch and just kind of got ready for training on Monday, watching videos, and that's really all he's interested in. So for him to go straight from this into coaching on the Ultimate Fighter, I know it's going to keep him focused, and it's kind of a fun thing for him to do. As for me, I'm leaving today. I'll be at home for a day, and then I go straight to Glasgow with Paddy. I don't really see myself coming back out to play any part in it. Maybe I'll come out for a few days, but I don't think so, to be honest. I have a lot on back home now. I haven't seen my gym in quite a while, so I want to spend some time there, obviously, see my family, and there's some big things coming up as well back home in terms of like just for my gym, Straight Blast Gym. It's the 10th anniversary of having summer training camps in Europe for SBG, and my coach is coming over, and so we have a lot going on. So I don't think I'll be able to come back over.
Do you have any idea what it will be like when he does come home? I mean, what kind of reception? Do you think they're going to plan a parade for him? What's it going to be like? And do you have any idea when he will come home? Because it seems like he's a little booked now.
Yeah, well, I guess the filming of this is going to be another, I guess it's 6 weeks or something like that. So what's that then? That's September, is it? As late as September?
Yeah. End of August. Yeah.
Late August, early September. I see the odd thing tweeted to me, and I read it. I still think we're in a bit of a bubble here. It's I don't really know how big this is yet. Like some people have messaged me, this is going to be something that in 20 years' time people will look back and still, remember it as a great achievement in Irish sport, and a lot of very nice things like that. And I suppose I'm like almost on the next day on Sunday, I was thinking, okay, what's Paddy's weight at? How many days for the cut? He's facing a very dangerous opponent. What day do I get there? I kind of went straight into like UFC Glasgow mindset, and I've always sort of been like that. Whether win, lose, or draw on Saturday night, the sun rises Sunday morning, and the job continues.
In a perfect world for you, when does the Aldo fight happen and where?
Again, you know more about this than I would, but I'm hearing the New Year's Eve, around about New Year's Eve show.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do it like January 2nd or something like that. Let's be honest, it's going to be in Vegas. There's no way that's not going to be the case. So yeah, if they announce it as January 2nd in Vegas, I'm very happy with that. I already got the all clear from Orla that I'm allowed to spend Christmas here. So, obviously she'll be with me.
Sure.
we wanted to go to New York for Christmas this year.
Oh, well, if it doesn't
the
work
whole
out,
like
we'd love to have
Christmas.
you.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe even if I'm here for that training camp, if I can shoot over for 2 days, maybe I can sit beside you there and
Oh, that would be an
do a
honor.
lot.
That would be an absolute honor. Now, do you believe the fight will happen? Is it going to be one of those, white whales that for whatever reason doesn't happen, or do you think these guys are destined to fight?
Um, I really hope so. I really hope so. I think we're in a golden era of MMA, and that all the best fighters are within the one organization. We don't really have the political issues that happens in boxing, and we obviously the big Mayweather Pacman fight. Like a lot, I'm not a boxing expert, but a lot of people said that it might have been better 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Whereas for now, we get to see people in their prime against each other. Even like that Conor and Chad fight was fantastic. Two guys such high level, and not to mention, of course, the Lawler and
Right.
Story. What the hell,
Story.
Rory?
Yes.
It's still early for me here, so
I appreciate that.
I haven't quite woken, and I might have a slight hangover. I'm not gonna lie.
No problem. I hear the hair of the dog or whatever they call it. I learned something new this weekend. Is it called hair of the dog?
Yeah,
Hair of the dog? Something like that.
that's
Drink
right.
more is
Yeah,
what they tell me.
that's just an Irish way of coming up with an excuse to keep
Yeah,
drinking.
exactly. But you think it will happen, the
Except
fight?
Um, yes, I guess I'm an optimist, so I will. I'll say yes. I'm sure. Yeah, I'll say yeah.
Okay, so how about this? Do you feel like he's champion, or will he only be champion until he beats the champion?
I feel like he's the champion. I think he's done pretty special things in the UFC in quite a short period of time. He's been willing to accept any challenge. I don't know if there's many fighters with what he had in front of him with 2 weeks' notice would have accepted not even such a great change of opponent, like with such a great change of style. Sorry, is what I'm trying to say. I remember when John Jones was going to fight someone and he pulled out and Chael Sonnen was the replacement. Do you remember this?
Yeah, UFC
John
151.
Jones. Yeah, of course you do. Your encyclopedia. He refused the change of opponent, and I remember thinking at the time, I thought that was very strange. Like, why would you do that? Especially for him being from a wrestling background, it wasn't like it was going to be such a huge deal for him to do. And with all due respect to Sonnen, he's a great fighter, but he not the most dangerous opponent he could have faced. But so for Conor to have done what he did and accepted that change, I think that showed a championship mentality. And from the go in there with basically we couldn't do any full pace wrestling training. Everything had to be done just at a slow flow pace. Is pretty special, I think, and speaks volumes to his mindset.
Connor talks about visualizing this, and we have clips of him talking about being a champion and all that stuff. But what about you? Did you believe that this would happen for you and in your country and your gym? Do you remember the first time where you thought this is an actual possibility? This is something that I want? Because, there are a lot of people like you who are in Europe right now, gym owners, great coaches who will never see this, who will never experience this for various reasons. They don't get the right guys. Things don't, who knows what happens. You're at the mountaintop right now. Do you remember thinking, okay, this is what I want. This is how I'm going to attain it. Do you remember like the first time you were actually dreaming about all this?
I've always kind of had the approach, if you take care of like minute by minute, then year by year seems to take care of itself. Like, so I've always had the approach that whatever I'm doing, try to do with 100%, full commitment, 100% commitment. So every training session I did, I always felt I was in the best gym in the world. Now, the physical surroundings, we're in these kind of damp little industrial units, but I always felt like we were training like world champions, and that we had the best training methods and we had the best technique. And if I did every training session like that, then sort of weeks became months, became years. And of course, when I seen Conor's ability in the gym, I've always seen a hell of a lot more of what he can do in the gym than people have seen what he can do in fights, because the fights tend to be very brief. But when I've seen that, and it did seem like it was going to be a matter of time. I do realize, and I know luck plays an uncomfortably large role in most people's lives, more than people would like to admit. And things have happened to me over the years that have just been great, and we were prepared. So when the opportunity came along, we were able to take it. But there's been a lot of incidents over the last couple of years where the diverging roads could have easily went the other way. And we're just on the regional circuit still, but we kept at it, and here we are.
Final thing for you. What do you think the byproduct of all of this will be? Where I come from in Canada, there was a guy named Vince Carter who played for the Toronto Raptors basketball team. He was an American, and this was in the late 90s. Basketball wasn't really popular in Canada, and now, 15 or so years later, the Canadian national basketball team is amazing. We're producing some of the best talents in the world. And every single one of these guys, we're all 20, 21 years old, all say it's because they grew up watching Vince Carter. I feel like the same thing is about to happen in Ireland. You'll have 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds who are now soon going to come to your gym, if they haven't already, and you will now have this dynasty because of this one man. Do you feel like that's going to happen? Has it happened already?
Well, I think you have Nate the Great on your show.
He
today,
bailed
don't
on
you?
me. He bailed on me, Nate.
Oh.
How about that? He big-timed me.
I have another one on my hands now.
Unbelievable. 10-year-old, and he bails an hour before the show.
And I drag myself out of bed to do
Amazing,
it.
right?
Anyway, yeah, I mean, you could use another one in your country, man, GSP, I'm sure, for what he's for MMA in your country. And, I enjoy reading like books like Bounce and stuff like that, and they speak about this effect. There were I was reading about some Korean girl, and until then, there'd been no female professional golfers in Korea. This girl won some, I guess, PGA Tour or something. And again, they saw that effect about 10 or 12 years later. There was thousands of young Korean girls that had done 10 years trainings, and she'd one starting to come out and be and win stuff. So I guess we had it in Ireland as well with a rugby player, Brian O'Driscoll, that was world class, and he inspired a generation. So I think it's going to be the same for Conor, because the guys that train with me know that the word talent makes my eye twitch. I really hate that word. It's kind of like saying there's something magical happened. I don't believe in magic, and I don't believe in talent. That Conor was inspired for whatever reason a bunch of years ago to pursue this dream, and he killed himself in the gym every day, and that's what I saw for the last 10 years. Now people look at him fighting, oh, he's so talented, and like I said, it really bugs me. We could sit down and have a conversation about that another time, just how much that word annoys me. No doubt people are going to keep sending me messages now saying we're talented. But anyway, when I look around my gym, I teach a teenage class in my gym, and I'm looking at these guys that are 12, 13, 14, and they're already moving in ways that took it maybe a year or two for the likes of Gunnar and Conor to get there. It's amazing, and all they do is hang out in the gym all day long. Sometimes my sister Anne, who managed the gym, has to shout at them to actually kick them out. But what are they going to be like when they come into their late teens, early 20s? What's the next generation going to be like? And I'm excited to find out.
Beautiful stuff. Again, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're leaving today. I really, really appreciate it. I want to thank you also. You had some very nice words to say to me before the fight. It meant a lot. It's something I'll never forget. I'll never forget you embracing with Conor at the top of the cage. I'll never forget seeing you after. I mean, your introduction, you and your team, and getting to know some of your fellow fighters and coaches has just been a beautiful thing over the last 2 years. You guys are all so classy, such gentlemen. It's just a pleasure to be around you guys and cover you guys, and I couldn't be happier for both you and the rest of the team. So enjoy it, and now good luck to my main man, Patty, on Saturday. Keep the good vibes rolling, and I'm sure I'll talk to you very soon. Again, thank you very much, and congratulations to you and everyone else.
Thank you so much, Ariel. We'll speak soon.
All right, there he is, head coach for the UFC interim featherweight champion. Great guy, John Kavanagh. Couldn't be happier for him and the squad for what they accomplished. A beautiful moment in Las Vegas. I have been trying to get our next guest on the program since essentially July 11th. Everyone's still very much in awe over what he did on July 11th at UFC 189. It's funny, leading up to that card, the co-main event between Robbie Lawler and Rory MacDonald flew under the radar somewhat because of all the hype surrounding Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo, and then Conor McGregor versus Chad Mendes. And while everyone was talking about Conor July 12th, the following day, his big win, we were talking about Rory MacDonald and Robbie Lawler just as much, if not more, because what they did inside that octagon, nothing short of amazing. I joked afterwards that they were going to put that clip of them facing off against each other at the end of the fourth round into that Bubba O'Reilly highlight reel, because it's one of those iconic clips, an instant classic. It was legendary the moment it ended. It was an honor to witness, and I've been wanting to have Rory MacDonald on the show since then to talk about the fight, where he goes from here and all that stuff. So happy that he is on right now, right here on the MMA Hour. Rory MacDonald, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
It is great to hear from you, my friend. So it has been almost exactly 1 month since we saw you in action. I believe this is your first interview since. How are you feeling? I mean, that's the big question right off the top. Physically, how do you feel?
I feel good. I've been training almost every day since the week after the fight, pretty much. So I'm feeling pretty good.
And what injuries specifically did you suffer in that fight?
I got a broken nose and a really tiny fracture on a joint in my toe. But it didn't really, the toe is not really an issue. It was more like the swelling from just like the damage.
Right.
And kicking and stuff. But mostly it was just the broken nose. That's the only thing I'm really dealing with right now.
Did you need to have any kind of surgery?
No, it looks like I'll be okay.
And you were able to fly home right away, right? You didn't have to stick around in Las Vegas despite the broken nose?
Yeah, I went home the next night, I believe. Yeah, Sunday night.
It was a weird thing for me because, and I know this sentiment was shared by a lot of people. You know, we try to remain as unbiased as possible, but we are human beings. And knowing how long it took for you to get that title shot, knowing what it meant to you, to see the way it ended was heartbreaking. It was hard to watch because you were so close. Are you still over? Are you still, are you still thinking about it? Do you still feel hurt by what happened? You, again, according to the judges' scorecards, you were right there. How did you react to it?
No, I'm happy the way it went. I thought it was a good fight. It was an amazing experience. I'll never forget for the rest of my life. And, that's what it's about. It was an amazing experience. And, I'm grateful for what happened in there. And, I think it's going to help me grow as a martial artist. It's going to turn me, it shows me what it's going to take to be a champion and, the changes I need to make to get to that level, to just get a little bit better so I can remain champion, Also, I hurt my MCL as well. Forgot about that.
In the fight?
Before the fight, but yeah, in the fight made it worse.
How many weeks or days before the fight did you hurt it initially?
Before training camp started.
Wow. So you went into that camp a little banged up.
Yeah, but who doesn't go
Sure.
into fight camp?
You tweeted a picture and you wrote this text. You thanked Robbie Lawler and Faraz Zahabi, your coach. You said, "This was the best time of my life. I'll never forget this fight." And it's a picture of you completely bloodied and with the text, "So you want to be a fighter." That was the best time of your life?
Certainly. It was the greatest moment of my life, the best experience. It was a real experience. It showed me who I was. It was the best. It was the best moment of my entire life. It was amazing. So
you enjoyed that more than any of your big wins, beating, Tarek Safdie, any of those guys?
Yeah, obviously I'm disappointed, that I didn't win. I wasn't able to push through and stop him, but at the end of the day, it was just like once in a lifetime experience, and I'm grateful for it.
What was that feeling like? Because it was interesting to watch again. You're in the fifth round. It's obvious that you're bloody. Your nose is busted, and then he punches you with a jab, and it's almost like it was almost like a delayed reaction. it hit you then, okay, this is too much. What was that feeling like? What was that pain like?
I believe it was a straight left.
Straight left, okay.
Yeah. Pretty much he was just being really accurate with his left hand in the 5th round. And, he was really finding the spot with his left right on my nose. And it just was giving me shockwaves through my brain and my body. And I don't know, it just stopped me. I don't know.
Have you ever felt that before?
No, I've never broken a bone in my life. So it was an interesting feeling to fight 3 rounds with a broken nose. But I was doing okay until like the 5th. I was okay, and then like it just kind of started finding a home for that left hand right on my nose, and it was some nice punches by him. So,
have you watched the fight again?
Yeah, certainly.
What's it like when you watch it?
It's pretty cool. You relive moments and stuff like that. I don't know. I enjoyed watching it.
Do you agree with
Robbie's an amazing fighter, he's an amazing guy to fight against, and I can't wait to fight him again. We're going to fight 5 more times, I bet.
Really? That's what you want? You want 5 more of those?
Yeah, he's the funnest guy in the world to fight. That guy brings out the best in you, for sure.
Do you feel like the judges had it right? You were up 3-1 going into the 5th?
Yeah, I do. I agree with that.
So everything's so positive. Everything you're saying is downright remarkable. Does the thought ever, cross your mind? I was 4 minutes away from finally being a champion.
Yeah, but I mean, the reality, the guy stopped me. So,
yeah.
I mean, I wasn't slipping those punches when I should have been. I wasn't applying good technique. I wasn't using movement. The foot was kind of keeping me stationary, and he did what he had to do. He closed the show on me. So, I mean, he's the champ now. He's the champ for a reason. So, I'm going to learn from it, and I'm going to get better, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to beat him.
What was the biggest thing? You said you learned some things that's going to make you better. What's the biggest thing, 1 or 2 things that you learned about that fight, that performance, that you're going to correct the next time out?
First thing that comes to my mind is my training method. I'm going to make it a little bit more intense on myself.
Okay.
I'm going to probably start applying small glove training, like I used to in the past when I first started out. Training more at Toshido and stuff like that. But yeah, no, like obviously at TriStar too, but just applying more small glove training rather than the big gloves with headgear and shin pads and stuff. I just think, and then some other things too, that you'll see in my next fight. I'd rather show it than talk about it. But I do know that I have a strength that I need to work on, and it'll make a huge difference in my fighting.
So you'll be doing your next camp, at least a portion of it, at Toshido in BC, where you started?
Yeah.
When's the last time you did that?
I'm just gonna be traveling around between all my camps. I haven't spent enough time working at Toshido. It's a different regiment, and I believe that needs to be it needs to be back in my game. I'm just missing something from my past. So but, obviously, I still need my TriStar team just as much as ever.
You'll still have Faraz and company in your corner.
Oh yeah. Faraz is my head coach. And for a reason. He knows what he's doing.
What was that moment like? That stare down at the end of the 4th round. What was going through your mind? You know what I'm talking about, right? That's one of those moments that I'll never forget it. Just watching it, the round is over, and you guys do not want to look away from each other. What's going through your mind when that's happening?
I don't know. I just didn't want to back down. He's a bit of an animal in there, so he started staring at me, and so I figured, we're probably gonna start fighting here again. I don't know. I just didn't want to back down. I didn't want him to alpha me.
Sure.
If that makes any sense.
No other fighter has ever brought that out in you, you think? Like, have you ever felt the way you felt in a fight like you did at 189? Carlos, yeah.
Carlos Condit for sure is another guy like that who has an iron will. And, yeah, that fact that those two are fighting, that's going to be an amazing fight. Can't wait to watch that one.
Yeah, I saw you tweet about that as well. There was a GIF that was passed around all over the place after the fight of the doctor coming to you, pressing on your face, and then you just kind of collapsed.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Yeah. Is that hard to watch?
No, not really. Why?
Well, I don't know, because it seemed like you're in an extreme amount of pain.
Not really. I was exhausted, disappointed, dizzy.
Right. And then you go to the hospital, and then there's a picture tweeted of both of you just having a laugh. What did you say to each other?
Nothing. Just congratulations, and that was a good time. Hope you're okay. This and that. Not much. So it's we're competitors. I have nothing against Robbie. I have nothing against any of the guys I fight, really. In fact, I like them. I have more respect for the people I fight than, people in general. So, I don't know.
Do you enjoy that sort of, after the fight meetup, you get to sort of reminisce about the fight, see your opponent, he's in the hospital too. Is that a nice way to end the night for you, or is it awkward?
No, it is kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that picture is, I showed that to my mom. I mean, this is what the sport is all about.
Yeah, for real. It was a cool moment.
Dana White said afterwards that you didn't know what year it was after the fight. Is that true?
Yeah, that's not true. She was just asking me so many damn questions, and I was like just trying to get air and like try to like spit out all the blood that was in my throat and my lungs and stuff. So I was just annoyed, so I stopped answering her questions.
Okay. The doctor.
Yeah.
This in the cage?
I knew what year it was. I knew everything that was going on.
Is this in the cage or after in the fight when you're in the back?
In the cage.
Wow. So she's just peppering you with questions right then and there.
Yeah. I don't know. I was not into talking to a doctor right then.
Sure.
I was just kind of in my own world,
Perhaps they should wait.
I knew what was going on. Well, it's their job to check on you, that you're fine. And I mean, I'm not going to question a doctor. That's their job. I just didn't feel like talking to her.
Are you at all concerned about, head trauma, a very big topic these days in sports in general, not just MMA, about the damage that you took in that fight?
Yeah, but I didn't have any concussion symptoms. Like, I never got really, like, rocked, like, as far as, like, my equilibrium or anything like that, or, seeing stars. I never had that once in the fight. It was just the damage to my nose that was a big problem.
I got the impression that despite the loss, you gained so much more respect from the MMA community than any of your previous wins. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah. It seems like I'm getting a lot more love.
Everyone loves you now, and we've had.
No one wants. Like before this fight, I was the boring guy for a while. After the Jake fight,
right?
Even though I was knocking people out and giving fight of the night, people don't give a shit. They hear one guy say that I had a boring fight, so I'm the boring guy. Now I have a good fight, so I'm fucking cool again. It's all fickle. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I know who I am, so that's all that matters at the end of the day.
So you just shrug all that off. All the praise, it means nothing to you, much like the criticism.
Yeah, I mean, my next fight could be fucking boring again and shitty, so they're going to hate me again eventually. Who knows?
But what
I
about
don't care what people think.
What about from your peers? Was there one fighter in particular, a person you look up to who reached out to you, text you, sent you a message, and said, "Holy moly, man!" Was there a moment like that you experienced?
Yeah, it's definitely nice from other martial artists that you have respect for, that they give you props and respect. That's always nice because they've been there and they've been in those situations and they've had to fight through stuff like that. So. I appreciate that stuff.
Was there one interaction that really stood out?
No.
Are you going on vacation after this? Or are you really right back in the gym? You deserve a vacation.
Yeah, I went to Kelowna, trained at Toshido. Now I'm back in Montreal, training at TriStar. Going back to Kelowna again. this Saturday. Gonna do some training there. I don't know. I'm just kind of flying in the wind, but I'm never gonna stop training. I need to get to. I need to get to where I'm dreaming of being. And nothing's gonna stop me.
And that's UFC champion.
Mm-hmm.
And when do you want to fight again?
December.
December? Any date in particular?
I don't know. One of the cards.
We've got one December 5th, December 12th, December 19th. Those are the three.
Any of those sound good. I don't know. My nose is still broken, so I kind of have to wait till that heals so I can test it in sparring.
Okay.
And then spar for a little bit, get comfortable sparring, getting it punched again. And then when that's all good, then I'll probably book a fight, within 2 months or 6 weeks or something like that. I'll probably get right back into it. The nose is good.
Did they tell you when they expect the nose to be 100%?
No.
Okay. So now you just have to lay off it, essentially.
Yeah, I'm just not punching it. I'm not doing any sparring.
Right. And do you have a perfect scenario in mind? Someone you'd like to fight in December?
There's so many guys. I mean, I think Tyrone's fighting Hendricks.
Yeah.
Carlos fighting him. There's so many good guys. Hector Lombard, Thiago Alves. Who else is in the top 10 that I haven't fought?
Well,
I don't know. Someone I haven't fought who's relevant and who's a good fighter. I mean, I'm good with anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course. Well, Hector is still on ice a little bit, and Thiago Alves is moving down to 155. Believe it or not.
155.
Yeah.
Thiago Alves is going to 155 or 185.
155, lightweight.
Holy! I don't know how he's going to do that.
Yeah, I don't know either. The only one that comes to mind, like in the top 10 that you haven't fought, is there's two actually: Damian Maia or Matt Brown.
Yeah. No, I fought Damian.
Yes, you have. Jeez.
Yeah,
UFC 170, right? That was when my son was born. So I
don't know when it was, but yeah, I beat Damian, but he's an excellent fighter. Matt Brown definitely is an excellent fighter. Fight him eventually, I'm sure. So yeah, anybody, I'd like to fight someone I haven't fought before. That's good, but if that's not possible, then yeah, definitely a rematch with someone in the top 10 who's good. Whatever, I don't care.
Do you kind of feel like because of how great that fight was, because of your popularity now, that all you have to do is win one more time and you'll get right back in there?
It's highly possible. I was thinking about that the other day because someone asked me that. You see Carlos, he just beat Thiago with an impressive victory, and he's got the title shot. So, and I'm not sure if he lost the fight before that. Did he?
Yeah, he lost to Tyron Woodley. He blew out his knee in that fight.
Oh, right. So, things like that, you never know. I mean, it's all performance-based at the end of the day. So, we'll see. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't care. I don't really give a shit. I just want to fight everyone.
Oh, man. It is so great to have you back in our lives, Rory. It's good to hear from you. And did anyone from the UFC reach out to you after the fight? Did they call you, see how you're doing, check up on you?
Dana and Lorenzo called me, and Dana the next day called me. They were really happy.
Yeah, was it nice to hear from them? Did you appreciate that?
And also some staff from the Canadian UFC team.
Yeah.
They reached out to me. Because I work with them a lot. Carolyn, the PR team and stuff like that. They sent me some messages and made sure I was okay and stuff like that.
I'm sure you appreciated that.
Yeah, no, they're awesome people. I love those people. They're really nice.
What was your favorite part of the whole process, that entire ride to 189 and the fight in particular? Is there one thing when you're an old man talking to your kids, your grandkids, your friends, this is what stood out. This is why I do what I do. This is why I loved my career.
Probably that moment when me and Robbie were staring at each other at the end of the fourth.
It was so great.
that was an intense moment. It was really we're looking at each other like we want to kill each other. And we had the ref in our way.
God,
it was amazing. What an experience.
I hope you get that picture somewhere and put it up in your house. Did someone send you that picture?
I don't like pictures of myself. I don't hang pictures of myself in my house.
But if one can, describe your career in one picture, that's it, right? That's who you are.
Yeah. I also like the one where my blood is like in my mouth and it's leaking all over my face. I think that is incredible. I like that. I think that one describes my career and my personality perfectly.
You know what I would say to that, right?
That's why I'm the Red King.
Right, that's exactly why. And another
I'll
name.
change it to the Blood King soon, huh?
Oh my God, are you changing your nickname again on us?
Who knows?
I missed
Crazy enough too, I think. Huh?
I do think you are. I missed the hair though. Can we get back to the old hair, or is that done?
Well, I don't have a mohawk anymore. I just shaved my head. No.
But what about like the gentleman's part? I like that very much.
Yeah, maybe that'll come back. Who knows? Maybe I'll grow a mullet, stullet. I don't know.
I like this. I like this Rory MacDonald. It feels like you're worry-free, no inhibitions. You're letting it loose.
Yeah, definitely. That experience in that cage and, some things that happened in my personal life lately definitely
What
me
happened?
to be on none of your damn business.
Okay, sorry. I mean, you brought it up.
I'm just joking. No, yeah, it's just so...
Good stuff or bad stuff?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh.
Good stuff. Positive.
Okay. So you're a happy man.
Yes, yeah, I think.
It feels like that fight, again, despite the loss, it brought out, it just kind of let your guard down and you view everything differently. And that's awesome to hear. I mean, it's very refreshing.
Yeah, well, experiences like that, I think, when you have to push to a certain point, they change you for better or worse. You have to decide right away which route you want to take mentally. And this is, I guess, the way I'm going.
It almost feels like we got this from George too. You know what I mean? Like at one point he went through these wars and then it just seemed like everything changed for him. Like his guard went down.
Right. Yeah, you're right, huh?
Yeah. Did you talk to him after the fight?
Yeah. I trained with him today, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Did he tell you about his plans? I feel like I might as well ask.
His what?
His plans for the future?
No.
You don't talk about that.
Not really. I mean, I don't know. I'll talk to him about it soon, I guess. Probably this week.
Oh, okay. Do you want to call me as well? We could go like a three-way?
Yeah. I'll leak all his big secrets to you.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Rory, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for the time. This has been amazing. I was so excited when we got to secure you on this show because, like I said, I've wanted to talk to you for a month now since this fight. I was just in awe. You made me proud to be a Canadian. You made me proud to be an MMA fan. You made me proud to be an MMA journalist. What you exemplified to the world that night, nothing short of amazing, and I think encompassed why we all love the sport so much. So congratulations, my friend, and I can't wait to see you back. And get well soon. I hope the nose... I'm very sensitive when it comes to noses because I can't imagine what it would be like to break my beaker, so I hope it heals soon.
That thing is iron. It's not breaking.
That could be true. That could be true.
Yeah.
But again, thank you so much, and thank you for the time, and we'll talk to you very soon.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
All right, there he is, Rory MacDonald. Let's talk to the talk of the MMA world. There he is, a man who now needs no introduction. Perhaps 2 weeks ago, you had no idea who this man was. Now he is a megastar. He is Super Sage Northcutt, just 19 years young. And this kitchen, by the way, has become somewhat famous because I see you do all your interviews from there, Sage.
Yes, sir. It has good lighting.
It's beautiful, by the way. But do you still live with your parents?
Am I what?
Do you still live with your folks?
Yes, sir.
That's gonna end very soon. Now that you're this MMA megastar, right?
Thank you. I guess we'll see.
Okay, well,
they're very nice.
Thank you for the time. I want to ask you something right off the bat that I wasn't planning on starting the interview with, but it's somewhat new news, if you will. A veteran journalist by the name of Showdown, Joe Ferraro, reported a couple days ago that you're going to go train at TriStar now. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. That's true. I leave tomorrow morning, actually, to go to Canada.
Wow. Now, are you going to move there, or what are you going to come back and forth? What are you doing in Montreal?
Well, really, I'm just going up there to check it out and see how it goes and see if it's fit for me. But like my jiu-jitsu coaches right now, Chris Mango and Ted Stickle, Gracie Baja and Katie, they're awesome. But also have school too. So I can't actually go up there and live there, but I'll get to go up there for about a week or so and check it out and see how it goes.
Well, you know, I'm from Montreal, so I could give you the tips. It's one of the greatest cities, if not the greatest city in the world, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's going to be awesome.
Did they recruit you, or did you reach out to them? How did this come about?
Well, actually, they said that they mentioned something that they've heard about my fights, and obviously I always talk about how George St. Pierre is my favorite fighter.
Oh, wow.
And I look up to him, so I think it's just like perfect timing that I get to go down there and get to train with them and get to meet them, and it's going to be incredible.
Have you ever met George?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my Lord.
No, sir. I'm looking forward to it.
Are you nervous? How are you feeling before this big meeting?
Oh, no way. I'm not nervous. I'm pumped up. I'm super excited.
Now, he goes all over the world. He's traveling. He's training. Is he going to be there? Do you know for sure that he's actually going to be at the gym?
Yes, sir. I heard he's going to be there a few days within the week. So it might be 3 days. It could be 4. I guess we'll get to see. And I'm just excited to see him, even if it's one day.
Now, I got to tell you, I've had a lot of MMA managers reach out to me and say, "Tell me about this Sage Northcutt kid. Is he being represented? Does he have a manager?" I feel like you're the biggest recruit in the sport right now. So all these managers who are probably watching this right now, tell them, give them the good news or the bad news. Do you have a manager?
Well, right now, actually, my dad is like my manager because he has my best interest. So I guess I would say my dad's my manager, but I guess he always has been because he's always looking out for me. So he's also my coach too. Of
course, yes. He was in your corner for your debut. Are you fielding offers right now? Are a lot of people coming at you?
Yes, sir, they are. So ever since UFC 192, on the fight, and from there, everything's blown up, including Instagram, my Twitter, just all the media, everything, and people coming at you. So I think it's fun. I like hearing everybody and get to hear and talk to everybody. I think it's a blast.
How are you handling it? Is it overwhelming to a degree, or is it all positive?
Well, it's definitely different, and sure, it's not overwhelming. I enjoy it personally, but so any of the negative stuff that I might hear, or I try not to ever look at that, and I try to block it out. So really, I'm only hearing the positive aspect, the positive side of everything. So it's great.
Why do you think your debut was such a big story and, more importantly, so well received? As I talked about on my show last week, I mean, your videos on our website compared to even the champion, Daniel Cormier, you were tripling everyone, if not more. Why do you think so many people are interested in you?
Thank you. I would say probably because it could be the fact that I'm so young and I'm the youngest current fighter in the UFC right now. I'm 19. So that could have a part in it. And then maybe also because I could be slightly different from most fighters in the fact that I'm always smiling and I'm having fun. So like when I walked out there in the octagon, I was actually smiling right before they said, "Okay, ready," and to go out there and fight. I was actually sitting there smiling against the cage and just like soaking it all in because I'm having fun out there. So that could be a little bit different too. And maybe the fact that also not only that I'm young, but I'm in school at the same time. So I'm not getting to train full time. And if I did get to train full time, I might be a complete, like totally different animal for a lot of fighters that I might go against my opponents. So maybe that could be the possibility also.
Are you taking any classes this semester at Texas A&M?
I am, yes, sir. Wow. I actually cut back classes a little bit. So before I had, I believe the minimum amount of hours to be a full-time student was 12 or 13, I believe. And I actually cut back a few classes so I could train. And like my fight for UFC 192, that was the first time I truly got to train for a fight. So that was incredible. And then my next fight, I'll have even more experience, more training. So I can just keep seeing myself go up and up with the more training and technique I learn.
What's it like when you walk around campus these days? A lot of people recognize you, more people recognizing you?
Yes, sir. You're right about that.
Man.
It's pretty cool. I like it. It's awesome.
And, okay, so when you signed your UFC contract and you found out that you're going to fight in your home state of Texas, did you have any idea that it would turn into this? Or did you think, all right, I'll make my debut, I'll get some local attention, and then I'll build my way up? Did you think in the back of your mind, all right, once these people see me, see what I'm all about, see my look, see my fighting style, it's going to explode? Did you think that in the back of your mind?
Oh, thank you very much. Well, actually, I've always known that the UFC is incredible at bringing up all their fighters. They're just amazing and getting the fighters out there and known. So but not this much. I had no idea it was going to blow up this much. This is incredible, and I'm sure every fighter would like it, and that's what they look forward to. So I've always looked forward to it myself, and I'm sure I've wanted this to happen. So I visualize it. It's perfect. It's happening just like I pretty much thought it would, and even more than I thought. Even better.
So it all starts when Dana White and his buddies show up to your fight at Legacy for his reality show, and of course, prior, as you've probably seen, they were kind of joking about you, and then you knocked their socks off. Did you have any idea while you were fighting that he was in attendance?
Actually, believe it or not, good thing you mentioned that. So when I actually was back there warming up before the fight, I had no idea whatsoever he was there or he was even coming, and I know he hasn't scouted or gone to any other MMA leagues or smaller events in like a whole entire year. So
yeah,
when I was actually walking out there, I heard some news, like some people were going, like I thought it was a rumor possibly, but they go, hey, Dana White's here. He's watching people fight. He's going to be watching you fight, Sage. And I was like, man, this is incredible. I hope that's true. I had no idea that he was really there. And then once I actually stepped foot in the cage for that event in Lake Charles, the Golden Nugget Casino, I actually saw him through the cage and saw him right there. So he was with Matt Serra and Nick the Tooth. So that was just super cool. So I put on a great show, and I finished my guy in the first round and choked him out. And it happened. I don't think it could have happened any better. It was perfect, and I thought it was just so amazing that he happened to be there at that time, and the odds of that.
And what did he say to you afterwards?
Afterwards, he said, for he knew I was 19 years old, and he knew the amount of fights I had, so he thought it was funny that I had my hair spiked up, and that he said it looked like I just walked out of a tanning booth, all tanned up, didn't think I could fight, and then he said I pretty much blew his mind that he took back his words from what he thought before the fight and then what he thought after the fight. So within a few weeks afterwards, I got the call from Dana White, and Mr. White said that he'd like me to fight on the UFC 192 card, and that was just the best opportunity that's ever happened so far. And of course, took advantage of that, and I'm so glad that I got that opportunity, and so glad he picked me and saw the talent in me to fight.
How did you react to that news, and how did you celebrate that all of a sudden you were on the UFC roster just like that overnight?
Well, you know what? When he actually gave me the call, I had already had another fight planned with the league that I was fighting in called Legacy.
Yeah.
So I know some people didn't want me to actually fight, but Mr. White had the confidence in me that I could fight. But obviously, if I would have lost the fight or gotten injured, then I wanted to fight for UFC 192. So I knew that going into my fight, and I finished my guy, and that was actually finished him in the second round, made sure there's no injuries, no possibility of injuries, and try to minimize those risks. And it was just such a huge opportunity. So it was awesome.
Considering how everything blew up in the week leading up to 192, and you were put in the media workouts and all that, and there was a ton of attention and talk about you leading up to that fight, did you feel nervous at all? Like in the locker room, right before you were about to walk out, did it finally hit you, oh my gosh, I'm about to fight in the octagon in front of my people, a lot of buzz? You don't seem like the kind of kid that gets nervous, but I'm wondering if right before it sort of hit you in sort of an actions kind of way.
Well, thank you very much. Well, actually, when I walked out there and I was warming up in the back of the locker room, I was actually watching everybody fight. So I saw the first two fights before me up on the screen, and Sergio Pettis, Andy Pettis' brother, and I was just watching them fight. So I warmed up a little bit and got ready, but I was just sitting there real calm. And then after the second fight was done, they go, "Hey, Sage, you're about to go up there and fight." So I was just ready. I hopped up, and I had no jitters whatsoever. And actually, when I actually walked out in there, I love the feeling of everybody watching. So when I walked out there, I was looking at the whole entire audience, just soaking it all in. And I personally, it might be different with other fighters, but it doesn't really get me nervous or really even the butterflies too much. Like, sure, you kind of get the butterflies in your stomach before you go out there, and because you just pumped up to fight, but not the feeling of being nervous. But it just kind of gives me more energy, more joy to go out there and do my best. So the answer would be no. I wasn't nervous. I was loving it.
Did the commission tell you no gel in the hair?
They did. Yes, sir. They did.
Bad. I wasn't used to seeing you with that poofy hair.
It was poofy.
Did that bother you?
Let's mix it up.
Did that bother you that you couldn't wear gel for your UFC debut?
No, that didn't bother
Okay.
me. I just figured maybe my opponent would feel my hair and be like, man, his hair is really soft.
Speaking of that opponent, he came in overweight. He complained about the stoppage. He pushed Herb Dean, Francisco Trevino. I'm talking about. What did you make of the way he handled himself?
Well, first off, speaking of Francisco Trevino, I would say that anybody, and I'm sure anybody else would say also that anybody in the UFC is in the UFC for a reason. So there are no slouches in the UFC. If you look at his record, he was 12-1, and the only loss he lost to was Johnny Case, and he happened to go all 3 rounds with Johnny Case. Johnny Case couldn't finish him, and Francisco Trevino, until he fought me, hasn't been finished, hasn't been submitted, hasn't been knocked out, and he only had that 1 loss. And I'm sure anybody would say that Johnny Case also isn't any slouch. He's 20-4, I believe. So there are no slouches in the UFC, and the stoppage by Mr. Dean out there, he knows how to stop the fights. He's been in the UFC so long and been around so long that he's the best. He's one of the best referees out there. So I believe that it wasn't me stopping the fight. It was him. So he knows what he was doing.
You've been given this new nickname, Sage Van Zandt, and people comparing you to Paige and her rise, your rise. What do you make of all of this?
I think it's great. That's super funny. I like it.
You don't mind it?
Because I don't mind it. Paige Van Zandt, she's very pretty and she's very outgoing and always smiling. So that's a huge compliment. We both kind of look alike. I would say blonde hair, smiling.
Yes, it's a bizarre thing. You're like the Ken and Barbie of the UFC. Are you okay with that?
Oh, thank you, Mr. Helwani. Thank you.
You're fine. Some people are saying that as an insult, but you take it as a compliment. That's what I love about you.
Oh, definitely a compliment. Absolutely.
Unbelievable. What an amazing thing. And your sister is also a fighter. She fights for Legacy Kickboxing, right? Colby, I believe her name is?
Colby, yes, sir. She actually hasn't fought recently. She's been focusing on school, but it's been a few years since she's fought a little bit.
Your success, is that going to get her to pick it up again?
Very possibly, because I think she's getting to see me have so much fun, and she's getting to see everything and how amazing the UFC is, and everybody how nice they are. So everybody, UFC Fight Pass, you yourself are incredibly nice and awesome. Everybody is. So I'm having a blast, and I'm sure she's seen that too.
What weight does she fight at, or did she fight at?
135.
135. Very interesting.
But she's 6 foot tall, and she's lean and ripped up. So she is a pretty big 135, I would say.
Your dad said that you never really watched the UFC fights when they would watch. For whatever reason, you didn't like to watch. Is that going to change now? Sure,
absolutely. It changes. I'm watching as much as I possibly can.
Okay.
And I do watch when I get the chance to. He just might have thought that maybe I was not getting to because I was doing schoolwork or having to study for projects or stuff like that. So ever since I was in junior high, I've made straight A's. All throughout high school, I had a 4.0. Straight A's my whole entire time in high school while traveling about every single other weekend to tournaments. And then at Texas A&M, I'm in petroleum engineering, which engineering for A&M, it's the #1 school in the nation for engineering.
Wow.
So that alone is a huge accomplishment, and that takes a lot of time away from getting to watch maybe all the fights. But I love watching the fights, and it's very fun to watch them.
Is it important for you to get your degree, in the straight, 4 years time, or is there a chance you might take a break now?
Well, since you mentioned that, I actually might take a break.
Uh-oh.
So right now, from the first semester, I'm now in my second semester. So first semester, I was taking full-time classes. And now that I'm in my second semester, I noticed that I'm getting a fight for the UFC. So having full-time classes, it doesn't really work out because there's so much workload and so much studying that you really don't have time to train. So I would stay up until 2 or 3 in the morning just studying, and then I'd have to go get a mile or so and a few miles run and work out the gym super late and try to get my working out in like that late at night. So now I've cut back on the workload. And in the future too, the more fights I go, you could possibly see me taking a break from school for a year, maybe 2 years, and we'll see how that goes. And then I think I'd be totally different because getting trained full time, it's just going to be completely different. It'll change everything about me. I'll be a totally different animal out there in the ring, and it could be pretty scary for some opponents, knowing that I'm getting trained. And I'm so young, so I have so much to learn.
Have they told you what's next yet?
No, sir, they haven't. I don't know the opponent yet, but I'm hopefully hoping to fight within the next month or two, and I'm ready to fight any day. So I know there's a super fight weekend coming up in December, and even that would be amazing to fight on. And
Yeah.
It's such an honor to be able to fight for the UFC. So pretty much anytime I get to fight for the UFC, I'm going out there to put my best show on, put on a show for the crowd, and get everybody's money worth, and just make everybody have a blast out there, just getting to see something different.
Do you have a dream scenario? If they say, okay, what do you want? Which card, which opponent, pick? Do you have an answer?
Well, right now, no, I actually don't have any opponent in mind right now, only because I would like to work my way up the ladder, and I'm only 19, so I do have a lot of technique to learn and a lot of things to drill and positions and situations. So I don't want to just go straight into the fights with the number one top guys, top 10 guys yet. I mean, I'd rather work my way up there. And then I'm happy fighting anywhere. So if it were to be Australia, if it were to be in Las Vegas, be on a super fight weekend, any of that's great for me. And I'm just very happy that I get a chance to fight.
Here's the big question. It's around 140 in Texas right now. How many push-ups and sit-ups have you done today?
So this morning I went to jiu-jitsu class, and then push-ups and sit-ups, under 500, but I got to mix in the weights later. So
I notice every time you speak, like your pecs are going up and down. It's mesmerizing. There it is. There it is. What a guy. You must get tons of people reaching out to you. I can't imagine what your Twitter is like right now and your Instagram. This has got to be this is like a dream, right? Have you woken up from this dream, or do you still feel like you're on cloud nine here?
No, it still is cloud nine pretty much, because it's totally different. So I'm enjoying every minute of it, every second. So
well,
it's awesome. I hope my Twitter, my Instagram, and everything out there just keeps going up, because I want the most people to be able to see what I can do and my future fights too.
You are a breath of fresh air, my friend. Congratulations on all your success thus far. I love the smile on your face. I love your positive attitude. Your father as well. I had the pleasure of meeting him. Just a great story, and I wish you nothing but the best. Good luck in Montreal. Enjoy that. Good luck meeting George. Great guy as well, and the whole team over there is great. And I'm very much looking forward to not only your next fight, but watching your ride in the UFC. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Great to have you on the show for the first time as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me too.
All right, there he is. Super Sage Northcutt. Great stuff from him. A fresh face, just 19 years old. And all of a sudden, bang, a gigantic star in the UFC. Raging Al Iaquinta was in full effect on Saturday night. And like I said earlier, I didn't mind it. I thought it was great. I'm really enjoying seeing Iaquinta's personality come out. I'm really enjoying watching the evolution of his personality. He was on this show not too long ago talking about post-fight, after the Lozon fight. The Alejandro bit is great. It's all very entertaining to me, and I'm enjoying it greatly. So let us go to the Skype machine and welcome in our next guest in the same location as the last time we spoke to him, the one and only Raging Al Iaquinta. Al, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How's everything?
Have you calmed down? Are you over it?
Yeah, it took me a little bit. I'm good, though.
Wow, look at that cut. It's looking a lot better.
It's looking a lot better. It's feeling a lot better.
How many stitches?
11. There's 7 outside, 3 inside. You do the math. I don't know.
7 outside, 3. I think that's 10.
10 stitches.
Have you watched the fight?
I watched it a bunch of times, yeah.
Do you think you won?
I do. I think I won the round. I think second round, third round, he took off. He was, he wasn't fighting, and I was pushing forward. Even the first 4 minutes of the first round, I think I came after him. I pushed the pace. The last minute of that first round, he beat my ass. I'm not gonna lie. I got but that's what I'm made of. I came through that, and that's what it is. So. To be honest with you, I've heard every scorecard there is on the Twitter, on the Facebook. There's a whole spectrum of scorecards that you could choose from, depending on how you looked at that fight. Second and third round, I came to fight. I think he was fighting like like he wanted a paycheck. That was the difference in the fight for sure.
So do you think that it was more about what he didn't do as opposed to what you did? In other words, if he fought the second and third rounds like he did in the first, do you think he would have won that fight? And for some reason, he took his foot off the gas?
There was no. He landed a combination. He landed one combination in the in the end of the first round. Other than that, it was the same fight. If you take out that last minute of the first round, the whole fight was the same. It was me going forward, him sticking a punch, 2 punches, taking 3 steps back, taking 4 steps back. So it was, it's a tricky fight to score. It's hard. And, I think me and him, we both gained respect for each other in the cage. He had some things to say before. I had some things to say before. And, I hit him with some good shots, and I could tell that he respected that. And I know, he hit me with some good shots. And at the end of that first round, he had me on the ground, and, he unleashed some I got hurt. I was hurt for sure. But, that round ended, and he was on top of me, and I didn't even, not even thinking about it. It was like I was half out, in, half out. I kicked him off of me, and he said, "Oh, don't kick me off you." And that's what I'm made of. You're on top of me. End of the round, I'm gonna kick you off. You get, It was, and it wasn't even disrespecting. It was just that's what it was. You get the fuck off of me, and if I'm so hurt, next round, come out and fight me again. And he didn't do that. He did this. He went back to the same thing at the beginning of the round, and he couldn't land another combination like that again. So. It was an extremely close fight. It was a good fight, and I think that should be, the point that's emphasized more than anything.
What do you say to the people who say, look at the stats, he outstruck you in every round? I know stats are very controversial in MMA because they don't often tell the whole story. What do you say to those people?
100%. Stats do not tell the whole story. I looked at they said I was 0 for 8 in takedowns. 0 for 8. Do you remember me trying to take him down 8 times? Like, I wasn't shooting like Ben Askren takedowns where it's like my life depends on it, and I'm shooting, and I'm really, I'm getting him to the ground. I'm grabbing his leg, and if he doesn't, if he's in good position, I'm throwing punches over it. I'm not throwing him. I'm not trying to take him down like I need to take him down. I don't need to take him down. I'm shooting in for a leg, and I'm grabbing the leg. If the punches, he's landing a punch going backwards, and it's just touching me on my head. I'm slamming leg kicks. What does that count for? There's just so many different ways you can score a fight like that. It's it could have went either way, depending on who you ask. There was a lot of respectable fighters tweeted that I won that fight. And that's what I take most than anyone. People that know about fighting, people that know, in the second and third round when things get tough, what it's like to just keep coming forward and really want it and not shy away from, a battle. How
much did the cut bother you throughout the fight?
The beginning of the second round, I felt it a little bit. It was not affecting my vision, but it was, I guess, a little bit. But it wasn't too bad. It was below my eye. It was good. It was, there's been a lot worse cuts. Thank God it was where it was.
It was amazing to watch both of your reactions when they announced that you won. He flipped out. You hardly moved. It was almost like you knew. You had no doubt in your mind that you won that fight. You just stood there as confident as can be. Did you really not think there was a chance you lost that fight?
You'll see. As they're talking, as they're saying, they announced me, they announced him 30-27. And then they announced me, and I put my hand up. Before they even said it, I knew I won that fight. I knew the second and third round, I did more. Did he do more damage in the fight? Possibly. But the way that the way this is scored, 3 rounds, I fought 2 harder. There's 3 guys sitting at the cage. There's 3 guys, and all that I had to do, he won the first round. All that he had to do was show one of them that he won 1 round. All he needed to do was 1 round. And both of those guys said I won 2 and 3. So that says it right there. There was 2 guys. All I had to do was show them that I wanted 2 and 3, and that's what I did.
What did you think, though, when you heard 30-27 for him?
I kind of thought that was, par for the course. I figured that was going to happen.
Why?
Well, yeah, it's been documented. There's, Doug Crosby has a long going feud with, well, not a feud, but whatever. He hates on us, most particularly Ray Longo, but he's got a problem, and this is where it gets serious. The whole thing, this whole thing is kind of like a joke. Everyone thinks, oh, boo, I cursed him, it's funny. But this is where it gets serious, and, you're going to have to talk to Ray about that. But this guy is definitely an incompetent judge, and it's a travesty that he was anywhere in the vicinity of the octagon when I was fighting.
And I will touch on this later. I did speak to Ray this morning. He gave me some information, but I just want to ask you one thing, if you can confirm this. Did you ever speak to Doug about maybe being in a movie of his? He works as a stunt coordinator, and that didn't fall through. Is that accurate? Or that fell through, excuse me?
I spoke with not him directly.
Yeah.
But someone called me, Steve Kofer, who was the New York Sambo and Sambo Steve. He had asked me to be in a movie, and not a movie, whatever it was. He asked me to be in something, and it was through this. I find out later it's through this guy, and he has an agenda. There's always an agenda behind it, and I kind of saw right through it, and I said no, I don't want to be. I didn't want anything to do with it, and then somehow he's judging my fight. So I turned down an offer from this guy, whatever the reason being, and then he's judging my fight. So the deal right there, that's not, I don't know. It's just not right. I don't know how that happened. I looked after the fight, and I was like, looking around the cage. I saw it, and then I saw him sitting there, and I said to Ray, I said, why is this guy judging my fight? And I knew right away. I said, I'm down one judge. I'm down. I need, three judges are supposed to be, objective, see the fight how it is. I knew right off the bat this guy he's not giving me nothing.
When did you find out that go ahead?
At least cover it up. Give me 29-28, but he gave me 30-27, which is just a big FU, give it 29-28, Masvidal, because that's probably, I've definitely won one round. There's no way you can give me, that. So, make it look a little bit whatever, but it is what it is.
When did you find out he was judging, and did you try to fix this? Did you try to complain?
No. I saw him judging the fights before. I was watching in the screen in the back, and I saw him there. And I was like, oh, look who's there. And then, but I thought we had this thing where he wasn't judging any of our fights.
Right.
I thought this was well documented, well known. This guy was not a part of it. And, I don't know. Who is he to we have people train at the gym, they excuse themselves. If there's even somebody that I know slightly that I've had even a conversation with, they'll excuse themselves from the fight. They'll say, listen, I can't ref his fight. Mm-hmm. I know him somewhat. I'm friendly with it. Whatever it is, they say, I can't do it. And they get a backup judge to come in or get a backup ref. This guy, I'm going to say he asked for it. He somehow got in there somehow. And it's a shame because, no matter how the fight went, I feel like I was getting screwed either way. And I didn't find out till after, but it was, it's just not right.
Was that why you were so fired up? Because, the fans were booing a little bit, but it seemed like you went from 0 to 100 very quickly. Was it because you had realized that you were put in this position, or were you legitimately upset at the fans for booing?
No, I was upset at the fans. I mean, if you listen to the decision right after they announced me, everyone cheers, and then he kind of stormed out of the cage and made a big scene, and that's when they started booing. I think one person started booing, and then everyone started booing. It was like, oh yeah, just boo this guy. You know what? Whatever.
Do you regret the way it all went down?
No, not at all. I think if it went down the same way, I'd do the same thing. You don't boo me. I'm the reason you're there watching. You know, I put it out. I put it out there on the line. I got this scar on my face. You know, after I fought, and you know, Ray's good fight. Matt's good. Matt said you got a new scar on your face, and that was like, it's like, yo, I got a scar from this. This ain't a joke. You know, this is real. And then people start booing me. What am I gonna? Every time I look at this scar, I'm gonna say, "Oh, that was the time." Remember the time the people booed me? So now every time I look at the scar, it's the time I cursed out Virginia and told them to go fuck themselves. So it's a little better, you know.
And you said that you looked into the crowd and you saw two people flipping you off, and that's what really drove you over the edge. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it was. I looked, you know, like you kind of. I'm looking up. I'm like, hey, am I really getting booed right now? Is this happening? And I saw two kids just, fuck you, fuck me, fuck you. You're sitting there doing nothing. You're sitting there drinking beers. You're a freaking loser. You go back to your little hillbilly, freaking whatever. Don't tell me nothing. I'm the man right here. You cheer me. You know. So, yeah, I would do the same thing again. And if they were a little closer, I probably would have kicked the guy in his ass. But it's frustrating. And all these people on Twitter, the same thing. I saw people after the fight and they all wanted my autograph. I said, guaranteed, freaking half these people were booing me in this stadium. I guarantee it. Well, wow, great fight. You're a warrior, this and that. Guaranteed you would boo me too, bro.
Right.
Fuck yourself.
Well, how about this, Al? Two gentlemen reached out to us, and they claim to be the ones who gave you the finger. And they want to speak to you. And they're on the...
Get them on a plane, bring them here right now. I take them out back, Mulcahy's, beat their ass.
Well, Al, Nick and Steven are on the phone right now.
Oh, here we go. Lincoln Steve. What is this? What is this? Howard Stern? Get him on.
They want to apologize. Nick, are you there?
Oh, get out of here.
I'm here, and thanks for not kicking our ass, Al. You know, we were just booing the decision, and when it seemed like you got mad at the crowd, we're old school pro wrestling fans. We reacted immediately, marking out. And we're glad you responded the way you did. We're glad you have no apologies. I'm sorry, you know, because I saw you really felt bad about that in the post-fight press conference. Watching it with my wife, like, man, you were really jerks to that guy. And you know, that's not us. We were just being fans. It was all show to us. We know it's not that to you. And you made Ally Iaquinta fans for life of us by reacting like a real person.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you. That's awesome. You're forgiven. No more ass kickings.
Steven, what do you have to say about this?
You know, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. It's almost like, you know, I feel like Al's the new, he's the Nick Diaz of Long Island. If he could give a little bit more fuck yous, he'd probably have more fans, actually, dude, because we loved them after that.
How about this, Al? They love you now.
Isn't this crazy? This is nuts. I like it.
So all's good? You guys buried the hatchet? You forgive him, Al?
Yeah.
I mean, cool with that.
I think, like, you know, he should just rep Long Island more, and today UFC shows up at MSG and he's on that card, get the biggest pop of his life.
Yeah, man. I'm down. And let's go. I like these. This is good.
How about this?
This is good. I was ready to go nuts, and these guys are good guys. I appreciate it.
Well, guys, thank you for calling. Anything else you want to say to Al? Because, look, I mean, I think, you don't have to give the guy the finger. He fought. Do you understand why he was so upset? I mean, the guy put his heart and his blood and his sweat on the line, and then he sees you guys in the crowd. I mean, it wasn't called for, right?
Totally. Yeah, I mean, after, 60 ounces of beer, things happen.
There we go.
I can understand that, you guys.
If anyone can understand that, it's Mr. Iaquinta over here. All right, guys, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. We'll be cheering for next time.
How about that, Al? Your favorite show makes dreams come true here. We buried the hatchet.
It's unreal. This is good. I made a lot of friends that weekend, cursing people out and whatnot. Everyone was cool. It was a good time. I met Mitch Clark's parents.
Oh, very nice.
After the fight, and Mitch Clark's brother was talking a bunch of trash. Now, Mitch, he's cool as hell. I saw him the whole week. It was, what's up, man? Good luck. I was rooting, it's all good. But then I saw his family after, and they have been, oh man, have they been brutal to me on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, and I
What?
lost the fight. I didn't win the fight.
What are they saying?
So I walk in with my mom and a couple of my buddies from the gym, a couple of my teammates, and the guy goes, "Hey, I'm Mitch Clark's dad." I go, "Hey, Mr. Clark, how are you?" He goes, "I'm the gabagool." I guess I called somebody a gabagool. It's like a word. I don't know. I was like, all right. And then it clicked. It was like, wait, Mitch Clark's brother talked a lot of shit online. I was like, where's your other son? And they all pointed at him. He was this little guy sitting across the table.
Oh.
And I was like, man, you got to take it easy on me. You know, you're kind of brutal. Your brother won the fight. Why are you coming after me? And he was just like, he was cool. So he didn't have a problem. But there's a lot of things, you know, these guys on Twitter, they go nuts. And then when they're in front of you, it's, can I have a handshake and an autograph? It's kind of rough. They don't realize people see, and you get all the same stuff on Twitter, and it can be rough.
So do you think you've gained more fans by what you did? They saw the real you, they saw your emotion, all that stuff, or are you getting a lot of hate? I've seen some of the tweets sent your way. What's the reaction been like?
You know what it is? I'm real, man. If you tweet me, I'm going to tweet you back. And usually what happens is they'll say something bad, and I'll say, fuck you. And then they'll say, well, this and that. And then I'll say this and that. And by the end of it, it's like, you know what? You're not that bad of a guy. I'm a fan now, Al. And it's like, why do we have to curse each other out for it to be like that? You know? So I don't know. I'm figuring this whole thing out as we go along. And these fans, I think they're just like me, but I don't think I'm going out there on Twitter to just hate on people. I'm, it is what it is. It's just cool. It's all good, man. It's all good.
How are you celebrating? Are we going to Mexico finally? What's going on?
We came right home, back to New York.
Yep.
I just chilled, watched the fight a little bit, didn't do anything crazy. I'd like to go to Mexico in June, right?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I was going to wreck the hotel. The hotel room.
Oh, my gosh.
Had every expectation of getting demolished. But I made a good friend in Clara. Clara, she was old enough to be my grandmother. Very nice Spanish lady, spoke to me, taught me. She taught me a few things in Spanish, So I was like, I can't ruin the hotel room now. She'd have to clean it up.
Yeah.
So I just left and, didn't wreck anything this time. And I think everyone's happier because of it. And Clara still likes me, so it's good.
I saw on the Alejandro de UFC Twitter account, are you showing her a magazine of some lovely mamacitas? Is that the same lady?
Yeah, that's her. That's Clara. She loved it. She's awesome.
By the way, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to know, when do you decide where you're going to tweet things from? Like, when do you decide to go on Iaquinta, and when do you decide that the Spanish one deserves a tweet or two?
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good question. I have no idea.
It's one of my favorite things in MMA right now, that whole thing.
It's pretty crazy, right? Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to just keep going with it and figure it out as it goes, I guess.
Do you know what you want next? Who you want next? What makes sense for you next? You're on a bit of a roll here now.
I have no idea, man. I want a Heineken or something. I want to just chill, get my eye better. No, here's the other thing.
Okay.
Those freaking Virginia, first of all, that place is beat. Virginia, the fans booed me, not except for my two friends now. I like them. They're cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they're right. But the doctors in Virginia, right? I'm getting stitches on my eye. I thought I was getting stitches. The guy goes, there's two guys, these big Virginia and whatever. They go, we got this glue here. It's $800 a bottle. He goes, yeah, $800 a bottle. I'm like, all right, fucking glue it. And they glue it. So one guy's holding my eye, and the other guy's gluing. And the guy has the rubber gloves. His rubber gloves got stuck.
Oh my
glued.
God. Oh my God.
Glued to my face. So I'm sitting there. I got this guy in there. They're yelling back and forth to each other. No, do it. Blah, blah. They had to rip the gloves off my face. My face, there's blood squirting down my face. I had to go yesterday again to get stitches. I had to do it all over again in New York. Have a very intelligent doctor, Dr. Friedman, fixed my face up, and now we're good. But what do we got going on down there in Virginia? It's not very good.
Safe to assume you're not chomping at the bit to return to Virginia anytime soon.
I can pretty much guarantee you I will never go back to Virginia. That place is wrecked to begin with. I don't need to go there. There's no reason to go back.
All right. Well, we'll end it at that note. Al, I appreciate it. What a performance! I loved everything about it. I think
the fight was good too, right?
I think harping on the scorecards is the wrong way to go about things. It was an entertaining 20 minutes.
Thanks, Ariel. I appreciate it, man.
All the best to you. We'll talk to you very soon.
You got it. Thank you.
There he is. Alejandro Iaquinta stopping by. This man, way back when, was the very first Scottish fighter to fight inside the octagon. That was October of 2013. Took a fight on short notice against Jimmy Hedis. Unfortunately, did not win that fight. But since then, he has won 2 in a row. Defeated Daniel Pineda at UFC 171, and then came back on Saturday in Glasgow, Scotland, to defeat Paul Redman via knockout. He got the party started in many ways on Saturday in Scotland because his win completely made the crowd erupt. I mean, the crowd went ballistic when he won, and even more so when he jumped into the crowd to celebrate with them. He has been hounding me and asking me to come on this show for quite some time, and after he won, I knew right then and there that we needed to get him on the show. I'm talking about Robert Whiteford, who joins us right now via the magic of Skype. There he is in all his glory. Robert, how are you? Congratulations on the win.
How you doing, son? About time I was on this show.
I know. I was waiting for the right moment, and I think Saturday was the right moment. So congratulations on it. And by the way, I like this new look for you. Longer hair, the beard. Where's this coming from?
Hey, I just got sponsored by a beard company, and my girlfriend hates it. And they said, I told her this morning, I says, if they're paying, it's staying. That's what I told her. She's not happy. She can't match the payment of those guys, so I told her it's staying.
Did that sponsorship come as a result of Saturday?
They'd sponsored me previous to the fight, and then they just got in contact with my manager this morning and offered more money for another 6 months of the beard.
Wow. Well, I love it. I say keep it.
I love it as well, and I love the money.
Yeah, exactly. So, at the top of the show, we had your teammate Stevie Ray on, and he told us that he's still on a high. He still can't really process what happened on Saturday. How about you?
I'm always in a fucking high. I'm in high in life, and that just made it even more better on Saturday. I landed on the moon on Saturday night, and I'm still not back down, but I'm always high in life anyway. I fucking love it.
I heard from a lot of people that your walkout was something special. Unfortunately, we couldn't see it. What was the song that you choose? Yeah, we couldn't see it.
You never heard it?
I didn't see it. I can't find it anywhere.
Oh fuck, it's special. You'll get it on my Facebook page.
Okay.
It's on my fan page. I came out to the national anthem, the Flower of Scotland.
Oh wow!
I knew as soon as I walked out to that in my national arena that the home crowd would go nuts. I've been to the football matches and the national rugby matches, and when the fans sing that song, it's something special, and it took the roof off the place. I had my head coach there, Conan Silver from American Top Team, and he's not one to get emotional. And just before I turned at the checkpoint, he had tears in his eyes. He was filled up. It had the full place going.
Wow. I wish I could see that, so I can see it on your Facebook page. I'm going to check that out after the show. That sounds fantastic.
Hey, and then you got to get back to me and tell me if it doesn't give you goosebumps. I'm telling you, it'll fucking give you goosebumps.
Did you feel any kind of responsibility, because you were the first of the Scottish fighters to fight on the card, that you had to set the tone, you had to get things going?
I mean, I'm pretty good at blocking things out. I'm like Dexter, professional during the day, serial killer by night. And I just flicked the switch when it was time to go. But I knew it was a big moment. I knew it was a big moment for me, and I knew it was a big moment for the crowd. So I didn't feel any pressure going into it. I was bringing the pressure. Redmond had to come in there in front of 11,000 my home fans and deal with me on the other end of it. And I was lucky it was just me getting my hands on him, not the rest of the support as well.
So you finish him early in the fight, and then right away, you don't even think twice. You jump over the cage and into the crowd. Were you always planning on doing that, or was that a spur-of-the-moment thing?
Fuck, I lost my mind. I don't know what the fuck happened. Fuck knows what happened, you know. One minute I was on top of the cage and the next minute I was fucking in the crowd. I hadn't got a clue what happened. Didn't even know who the people were or nothing. Next minute I was in the middle of it.
Wow. Because, you know, I was actually thinking, oh, maybe that's his family, his friends. You had no idea who those people were.
Hadn't a fucking clue. Hadn't a clue.
And if they weren't there, I would imagine you were going to like run up the entire arena. I mean, it just seemed like you were a man on a mission.
I was off. As soon as I got over that fence, I was off. You know, it was like when I was a kid getting doing the gardens. I don't know if you do that in America, but as young children, you've got the back guards. Like, what would you call it? The yards.
Yes,
and
yes.
Yeah. So you jump the fences, you know, and you just keep going until there's no more fences to go, and that's what it was like. As soon as I jumped that first fence, I was looking for the next.
How old are you? Let me see. You're 33.
I'm 32, but I feel like I'm fucking 13.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you. So, you know, in your time, 32 years here in the in our great world, was that the greatest moment of your life right then and there?
By far, you know. If you were going to write a Hollywood movie, that would be the fucking ending, right? You couldn't fucking script that shit. It was fucking unbelievable. And I was just fortunate enough it was me. You know, if it wasn't me, I'd been in the crowd watching somebody else doing it. It was fucking tremendous.
Is that something you dreamed of? Like when you started, did you say, you know, because we hear from Conor a lot, oh, I wanted to bring the UFC to Dublin. You were the first Scottish fighter. Did you dream of having that moment? Was that part of your dreams?
Hey, listen, this started in a small hall in Socky in Alaba. It's a very small town in the top of Scotland, right, the countryside. It started off there in my local judo hall. That just so happened there was an MMA session on after my judo class, and I thought, fuck it, I'll give that a shot and see what it's like, you know. And next minute I was hooked. But I knew right there and then I wasn't wanting to be just fighting on the local scenes, you know, like Scotland and the UK. You know, I'd watched the UFC. And always in my head, I had the bigger picture. You know, I wanted to fucking get there. And people maybe called me crazy at the time, but the crazy people are the ones that make the fucking difference, right? That's the way I look at it. I don't like to follow a trend. I like to be myself and be different. And I knew back then that I wanted to get to the UFC, you know, and I knew I could do it. And when I done it, I thought right away, I'm going to bring this fucking show back to my home country. And a lot of people were going nuts because I was the third fight on the card. You know, they were saying Whiteford should be higher up. But honestly, you could have put me out first fight. I wouldn't have give a fuck. You know, I was just delighted. I was delighted to fucking get that show there and be the first Scot out. You know, and show my people what we're made of.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
It seems somewhat fitting that you would start things. So prior to that session, of course, we know about your judo background. You're an accomplished judoka, and your Twitter name is Flying Judoka. Did you know anything about MMA? Was that on your radar at all?
Well, I'd watched it as a kid. You know, me and one of my best friends, Dad used to have it in VHS. And when he used to leave the house, we used to sneak into his room and get the VHS videos and watch them, thinking we were watching illegal fighting. You know, like fuck, we better not get caught watching this shit. It was bare knuckle back in the time. That's when Tank Abbott used to throw down guys like that, and that was my first taste of it. But I'd never really paid attention to it. You know, I participated in judo, and I thought that was the toughest fucking sport on the planet until I got punched in the face participating in this. You know, and that changed my fucking mind instantly. So that was my first taste of it.
You didn't spend this fight week in Scotland, right? You were at ATT in Florida?
Well,
the fight camp.
Yeah, fight camp. I was there for 8 weeks. I was away from my cat Ollie for 8 weeks. You know, I fucking missed the wee guy. It was terrible. My girlfriend as well. I better put that in there because she'll go nuts if I don't say I miss her. And I was back 1 week before the fight, and I was unfortunate enough I could spend it in my own bed. You know what? Fight week, that was fucking tremendous.
Yeah, I bet. But what was it like coming back for the beginning of fight week? You know, in your home country, and then seeing this sort of buzz start to build. The weigh-ins were great, and then the fight. I mean, the atmosphere was fantastic. So now you're living it because you had been away. You were in Florida. I mean, you couldn't have been farther, right? I mean, you weren't experiencing the build-up. What was that like for you?
I knew this shit was going to go crazy. You know, you couldn't tell me I'm Mr. Crazy here, you know, and the Scottish people are just as fucking crazy as me, and I knew it was going to kick off like this. I knew it. Even though I never seen it happening, I was away in Florida, I fucking knew it would be going nuts, you know. And when I came home and I seen it and I made that way, and I was just so pleased that the Scottish support got behind us, you know. The show was sold out in under 25 minutes. The weigh-ins were sold out as well. There were 1,000 odd people there, and that was during a working day. You know, the working class people took time off work to come and support us at that event. Yeah, it was tremendous. You know, us Scottish love a fight. You know, we're fucking crazy, and you put especially one of your own guys in that octagon. You know, you're going to get them their numbers, and I knew that would happen. I knew it.
How popular is the sport, and what has the aftermath been after Saturday in the national media? I mean, are they treating this like a big deal? Have they caught on? Have they understood what transpired on Saturday?
Errol, you know, I was struggling to get the local fucking paper back here. you know, the local paper, I think they sell maybe 500 copies or something in the small villages that I live in, and they wouldn't even fucking put me in that thing. And I just got a message from one of the UFC guys, the office, with a picture. And I'm in every single fucking paper you can get, national paper in Scotland.
Wow.
So you can't beat that. The local paper can shove it up their arse because I'm in every single national paper.
That is good. So they understood, because, you know, sometimes it feels like the first show kind of flies under the radar as far as the media is concerned, and then the second show gets to be a big deal. But it appears as though in Scotland they have recognized that you guys are a big deal, and I'm happy to hear that.
Fuck, we've been fighting for centuries, you know. All you need is a small whisper of a bit of violence going down, and you'll get the fucking Scottish crowd there. You know, it doesn't matter how small or how big it is. We will fill those halls, and you come back again, we will fill it again and again. You know, we love to fucking fight, and we just proved that. Irish people are pretty the same. We're pretty alike, you know. And you've seen the kickoff that's happened there, and I'm just wanting to spur on for the rest of the people here. You know, me and Steve and Joanne. But we've been training in the hall in Glasgow. When it rains, the fucking water comes in the ceiling. You know, that's how fucking poor we are out here. So I want this to kick off, get my gym funded, get more money into that, get the guys funded. You know, Stevie's still pedaling his bike to training. I think he can go and buy a new car now. He's got that 50 G's. Joanne gets the bus to training. You know, we're all fucking skin out here. So it's good. I want the money to come, and I want us to get better from it. You know, and the gym and everybody.
What's your situation like? Because it seems like often when we talk to these, these European fighters, a lot of you guys are struggling, and that's often the case with a young MMA fighter. Stevie just told us he was on welfare. You know, again, and not to keep comparing everyone to him, but Conor was also on welfare not that long ago, and look how he's doing now. What's your situation like?
It's 10 as well. Fucking beat that. On welfare and 10 kids. You can't get any better. You know
Wait, say that again. It froze up. What did you say? What was the beginning of that response? I couldn't hear you.
Stevie is on welfare and has 10 children to 10 different girls. You cannot beat that, you know. So fucking that 50 G's is going a long way for him.
What about you?
I'm lucky enough I've not got any kids. Thank fuck. And I haven't fought in a year. That's the other thing, you know.
That's true.
So it's been fucking tough. It's been tough, and I've just been lucky. I've had the local support back here with the small businesses supporting me up until this, and then even during fight camp when I went away to America, they were sending money over to me.
Wow.
To pay my bills and stuff, you know, because I still have a house back here. I still have my girlfriend. I still have shit I need to pay. So I was fortunate enough to get these small companies sponsor me and sending me money. Otherwise, it would be impossible. You know. So
obviously you've enjoyed success training with ATT. Any chance you move to Florida so you don't have to go back and forth?
I love my people too much, Ariel. You know, see when I stepped off the plane in fight week and I smelt that fresh Scottish air, you cannot beat that. That is priceless. You go over to Florida, it's 110 degrees, it's 100% humidity. You fucking sweat walking from the car to the gym. No, thank you. No, thank you. You know, I love it here. It's been raining since I got back. I think we've had 2 days of sun, and bring on the rain. That's what I say. I'm pleased for this cold weather and the fresh air. You know, I fucking hate the heat.
How do they feel about your accent over there in Florida?
They can't fucking understand the word I say. I'm sick of repeating myself to those guys. It's fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous. And then when I try and change it up so that they can understand me a bit, I sound like an absolute prick.
like what do you do? Like, what's the difference? Like, let's say you're talking to a guy in a grocery store in Florida. How do you sound?
How are you doing, sir? Can you understand me very well? You see the difference? Sure, I sound like a fucking asshole.
I saw this video that the UFC put out. I think it's some kind of comedian, and he's talking to...
Oh, classic.
Who's that guy? And what is that language that he was speaking?
A Scottish comedian, and he's speaking... how could you put it? Slang Scottish.
Wow.
You know, any of these small villages you travel to, like mine, there's maybe 500 in this small village. You know, it's a small mining village, and we all speak the same. You know, we either speak fast or we speak gibberish. And that's the only way to describe it. But it's only the Scottish that can get it. I don't know if you've seen Marcus Brimage trying to understand some of it. He was fucking downfunded by it, man. Downfunded.
So you speak like that as well with your friends?
Of course.
Wow. Can you? So let me ask you a question. And I just want to see you respond in that. In that.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
And see how you respond.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If I said to you, "Get yowdy," what does that mean?
Get rowdy?
Nope.
I have no idea.
Give it everything.
Oh my gosh.
So it's kind of the same, right?
I guess now in hindsight, tell me like a sentence about your experience in this past, something that happened to you this past week, and I'll see if I understand what you're talking about.
Let me see. Some of the messages I was getting from Facebook from the girls, they were saying I was looking off a bra on Saturday night.
Oh gosh. I'm guessing since it was from a girl, you were looking sexy?
Of course.
What does your girlfriend think about that?
Man, you know it.
What does your girlfriend think about that?
Fuck, she hates it. Fucking hell. The price she's no fucking doing here is trying to stab me with a fork in my eye right now for saying that.
How long have you been together?
3 years.
Wow, so she saw you before you became a UFC fighter. She was there from the beginning.
She's been there from the beginning, you know, and she still fucking hates me as much now as she did then.
Why does she hate you?
Because I'm a typical guy. A typical Scottish guy. A prick.
Hey, by the way, what was it like when you got the call that you were going to be the first Scottish fighter in the UFC? Is that something that you were striving for? Did you want that distinction?
So, what, sorry?
Did you want to be the first Scottish fighter? Is that something that you were striving for?
Of course I did. Of course I did. You know, the only person that was coming close to me, the only person that was close to me at the time was Joanne Calderwood. You know, we trained in the same gym. And I used to tell her every day, there's no way that fucking chick is beating me getting to the UFC. You know, I used to tell her every day, you might beat me in sparring, but you're not beating me getting to the fucking UFC. So I wanted that level above her, you know, just to keep her in a place that I made it before her. So I was happy at that.
Well, that is a great distinction, but you did lose that UFC debut. How much does that bother you? I feel like you're the kind of guy that is still kind of bothered by this.
Only when people bring it up.
Okay.
As I say, I can switch off and forget things very easily. That's a fucking sour topic, you know. He got me in my worst day, and I got him in his best day. That's the only way I can put it, you know. He was fucking lucky, put it that way. When I got the phone call, I was actually sitting with my girlfriend, right? I was in a Chinese buffet, and I was on my sixth plate. And I was looking at the puddings thinking, I'm going to tackle that right now. And my manager called me saying, can you make £146 on Saturday? And I looked at the buffet and I looked back at my phone and I said, fuck it, take the cake away, you know, I'm going to make it. And I made it in 5 days' notice, £30, £32 in 5 days. It was fucking horrendous. But you better believe that fucking pisses me off to the highest order. You know, it's a fight I would love to get back. Jimmy's a nice kid, you know, and I'm sure he would love that fight as well, and an even playing field. You know, the both of us at our best.
So what do you want next?
Any of them, put them up, and I will knock them fucking down. It was unfortunate that I got injured heading into the Seaver fight, or he would have been in the receiving end of that fucking left hand on Saturday night. You know, that was a fucking huge blow for me. It was one of those camps that nothing went right. I blew my knee out, I blew my back out. You name it, it was getting fucking blew out, you know. And he was so lucky that I never made it to Stockholm. So lucky. So even that Seaver fight, even though he's coming off a loss, bring him to Dublin. I would love to go on that. Is it October card?
I believe it's 24th.
Bring him over to Dublin, and I will smash him into the ground.
All right.
Mark my words.
You want to fight on the Dublin card?
Of course I want to fight in the Dublin card. I'm healthy, I'm ready to go. Redmond didn't lay a fucking glove in me on Saturday night. I'm ready to go. I want to get in there and make that money, you know, and get back out fresh and good looking, collect that money for this beard.
Well, so we're going to let the beard grow all the way to your next fight?
Of course, this is going nowhere.
I love it.
As I said before, if they pay, it stays, Ariel. They pay, it stays.
What a pleasure this has been. A great debut, Robert. Yes?
Before we go,
yeah.
Let me show you this. Have you ever tasted one of these bad boys, Ariel?
No. What is that? Chocolate?
Tunnock's tea cake.
Wow.
This is a Scottish biscuit.
Oh.
I am on my 24th box since Saturday.
Get out of here.
I cannot stop eating these things. Let me show you this fucking thing.
Please.
So it is a small biscuit with
Oh my gosh.
marshmallow on the inside of it.
Yes.
It is the fucking best biscuit in the planet.
Really? 21 boxes?
21 boxes is these mothers.
Wow. How many? And 6 in each. Wow. I can't even do the math. That's a
in
lot.
each.
120 or
I don't fuck about. I don't know if you've heard my slogan before. I am not here to fuck about. Whether it's fighting or eating fucking biscuits.
How much you weigh right now? How much you weigh?
Probably 175.
Wow. Honest? You think so? What are we? 2 days? You were. Wow. Jesus. That's a lot.
I was 164 going back into the octagon on Saturday night.
Oh, okay. Not too bad. 20 pounds you gained.
So since then, 21 boxes of these, 5 haggis suppers. I don't know if you've ever heard of haggis.
I've heard of haggis. Never had the pleasure though.
That is another tremendous Scottish dish. I've had six suppers. Have you heard of a chippy before? You know what a chippy is?
No.
Chip shop. Please tell me you know what a chip shop is.
No clue. Tell me.
So, have you ever had fish and chips?
Oh yes.
Have you seen a traditional Scottish fish and chip shop?
Negative.
Where they batter everything. You know what batter is? When
Sure.
they deep grill it,
Yeah.
deep fry it. So from Mars bars to Snickers to haggis to fish, everything goes in that fucking fryer. And it is the best taste in the fucking world. So they get haggis and they fry it and it comes out the chip shop with brown sauce on it. It's absolutely amazing.
Haggis is a meat?
You've never heard of haggis?
No, I've heard of it from So I Married an Axe Murderer. Have you ever seen that film?
Yep.
They talk about haggis, but I don't know what it is. What exactly is it?
Right, let me explain to you what it is.
Please.
Haggis is a small Scottish animal, okay? And it has 4 legs, and 2 of them are smaller than the other, okay?
Okay.
So this is the leg, so they have one here like this, they walk like this. And they can only go from side to side on the hillside. They cannot go up and down because one leg is shorter than the other.
Okay.
So what you do to catch these little guys, your friend goes to one side of the hill and you start at the other side. You scare them along the hill, they cannot go up and down, they can only go in straight lines, and you catch them in the bag at the other side. And that is supper.
Wow, what do they look like?
Like small hedgehogs.
Gosh. Only in
You
Scotland?
do your homework, Ariel.
Yes.
You do your homework, Ariel, son, and get back to me about that.
Okay. Have you ever worn a kilt before?
Fuck. I wore a kilt to my last fight, Ariel.
Which one? On Saturday?
UFC 171 in Dallas.
Yeah. No.
My walkout, I had my kilt on and my spawn. And it was unfortunate with the Reebok deal this time. I couldn't wear my kilt to the octagon. You know, that's the only thing. I mean, the Reebok deal, it's good for us right now, but as in taking my identity away with my kilt, you know, it wasn't a good thing. It went down very, very harshly. Let me tell you that. I told the UFC officials what I fucking thought right away. But yeah, I wear a kilt all the time. You know what? A traditional Scotsman does not wear underwear under his kilt.
Yes, I have heard that.
You know that, right?
I know that, yes. Are you the same?
So,
Are you the same? Are you a traditional Scotsman?
I'm 100% Scottish. So when I go out wearing my kilt, I do not wear underwear, Ariel.
I love it. Have you ever played the bagpipes before?
I haven't got the lung capacity for those fuckers. Ariel,
yes.
You can imagine going out on a Saturday night in Scotland with your kilt on. The girls know that you do not have underwear on.
Oh my lord.
It makes for a fun night, believe me.
When's the proper time to wear the kilt? I mean, is it more for formal occasions, or you can wear it anytime?
Like weddings and stuff.
Okay,
weddings.
So why would you wear it out on a Saturday night?
Some crazy mothers like to do that, you know. If you're brave enough and you brave the Scottish weather, the cold, the rain, and you've got no kilt and you've got no pants on, some of us like to do it, and I'm one of those guys.
I would imagine it feels good, you know, the breeze.
Oh, tremendous! You have no idea. Listen, when you go home, try your girlfriend's skirt on, and open the freezer door, and stand in front of it, and let me know how that feels.
All right. It's a deal. This is amazing. Really enjoyed this. We're going to do it again soon, Robert. I appreciate the time. Best of luck to you in your next fight. But more importantly, congratulations on this big win on Saturday. It was a great moment, and I know it meant the world to you. You really came up big, and you made it a memorable one with the jumping out of the cage and all that. So kudos to you.
Thank you very much. I was an emotional wreck that night, and it will not happen again.
I appreciated it, by the way, and I'm happy we finally were able to get you on the show. That you were able to carve out some time for us because you've been hard to get in touch with.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
I've been hounding you for fucking a year, Ariel. So don't give me that shit.
All the best to you. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you, Robert.
Take it easy, my man. Cheers.
There he is, Robert Whiteford. Great stuff from him joining us from Scotland. Learned a lot there. A nice young man who came up big, as I said, was very emotional and jumped out of the cage. And it was really a fantastic afternoon for the UFC in their debut event in Scotland. Now we're starting to learn more about Polish culture, Polish athletes. You're putting Poland on the map as far as MMA is concerned. You're the most famous Polish fighter in the world right now, right? So I wanted to play a game with you.
Okay.
Before I let you go. It's called Name That Pole.
Name that pole.
Not yet. Take it away. Yeah. Okay, so, Polish people, they're called Poles, right? So I started doing a lot of research, and there's a lot of famous Polish people in the history of mankind. A lot of people that I didn't know were Polish. So you've made me do my research. So I'm going to show you a picture of a Polish person, and you have to tell me what their name is, who they are.
I will try.
Do you feel like you know a lot about Polish culture, Polish history?
Yes and not.
Okay.
No, I'm focused on my
job, Yeah, but these are
when
people.
I was growing, yeah.
Of course, you have to know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the name of this game is called Name That Pole, and guess what? We have some music. Do we have the music ready? There it is. Oh, you can't hear it. Put the headphones on just so you can enjoy the music. This is called, I don't know if they play this in Poland, but it's called polka music, right?
Polka, yeah.
You know this?
Yeah.
This is nice. Okay, so this is it. There you go. Can you dance polka?
No.
Okay. All right, so here's our first Polish person. There he is. This is a very famous man. Do you know who this man is?
Mikołaj Kopernik.
There you go. Nicholas Copernicus.
Yeah.
Born in 1473, died in 1543. Who is he? Tell us quickly.
Astronomy? Yeah.
Yes, a mathematician, astronomer, physician, a scholar.
In my city, we've got the castle, and we've got the big figure of Michael.
You know, I didn't know that he was actually Polish.
Yeah.
Copernicus. How did you say his name again?
Michał.
Michał?
Michael, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Michał.
Okay. Copernicus.
Yeah, his nose.
Yes. What a
Similar
nose.
to Jessica's.
Wow.
Nose, yeah.
Well done. Great haircut as well. So there he is. There's our first one. So you're 1 for 1. Well done. He was born in Thorn, by the way. It was a city in Prussia, an autonomous region in the old kingdom of Poland. Okay, there we go. Don't cheat. You're looking at the names. What's going on here? All right, here's the next one. Here we go. Name that Pole. Who is that man?
Chopin.
Wow, look at you. Frédéric Chopin. Born in 1810, died in 1849. What a young man he died. Tell us about him. What do you know about him?
Oh, now I forgot,
Okay. Obviously a very famous
he's like
pianist.
one of the famous, yeah.
Sure. He was born in Żelazowa.
Żelazowa Wola.
Yes, there you go.
And near the Krakow, where was the UFC fight night.
Oh, that's right. In Warsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah. He died at 39 years old. Wow, how about that? Okay, so 2 for 2. How about this? Are you having fun? This is good. Look at you representing Poland. Okay, here we go. Here's number 3. Name that Pole.
Maria Konopnicka?
I mean, this is unbelievable. I'm more impressed with you right now than I am in your fight.
She was a writer.
Not quite. She was a physicist and a chemist.
Isn't Konopnicka or...
It's
Skłodowska-Curie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
but she looks like...
I thought you said the same thing.
No.
Oh, okay.
I said Konopnicka, but I want to say it Curie.
Mary Curie.
Was a chemistry, yeah.
I had no idea she was Polish.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. This is a legend right here. So Mary Curie, a Polish physicist and chemist. She's arguably the most famous female scientist ever.
Yeah.
Like you're the most famous female fighter, female scientist. She was born in
I don't know.
Warsaw.
Warsaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
She passed away in 1934. Well done. Okay, so now you are. I'm going to give you that one.
Okay.
Okay, so you are 3 for 3. All right, let's go to our next one. This is a tough one, by the way. Name that Pole. Easy.
Karol Wojtyła.
Oh, how about so? This was interesting. When I was looking for his picture, all the pictures were him wearing the Pope.
Yep.
Too easy. My guy in the back, New York Rick, said, "There's no way you're going to get this." There he is. Pope John Paul II. You're not a fan.
Yeah, I'm big fan.
Oh, you're a big fan.
Like I got like lots of emotions right now.
Why? Why is that?
Because I am a Catholic,
Okay.
so he's like an icon for me.
Icon. Pope John Paul II.
He's saint right now.
He's what?
Saint?
What's that?
Saint, like...
Saint.
Saint, yeah.
That's right. Karol
Wojtyła.
Wojtyła, wow.
John Paul II, yeah.
John Paul II. Where was he born?
In Wadowice.
That's right. Oh my gosh. You really know your
Near
stuff.
Krakow as well.
I wouldn't know this about Canadian people.
Yeah.
How long did he last as a Pole? How long was his tenure?
I don't know. I don't remember.
26 years.
26, yeah.
How about that? He was the...
80-something, yeah.
Did you know he was the youngest Pope
Yeah.
ever?
Yep.
Amazing. Okay. Now it gets a little tougher, by the way. Okay. So far you're 4 for 4.
Okay.
Well done. Are you having fun?
Yeah, sure.
You want to have some donut? Okay.
No, later.
Maybe later. All right. Here we go. Let's go to our next one. Name that Pole.
Polański.
What is going on here?
He's a director, yeah?
Yes, an Academy Award-winning, 4-time nominated Polish film director, Roman Polanski, born in 1933.
Lots of bad stories about him.
This guy is a controversial figure. You know, he's had a very tough life. You
But
know,
he was living in Italy, probably, yeah?
Yes. You know, he lived in during the World War II, and he had to hide because he's Jewish. But what happened? His wife, was it his wife? Yes, his wife was murdered.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, she was pregnant. Her name was Sharon Tate. In 1969, Tate, who was pregnant at the time, was murdered by serial killer Charles Manson's sect. But then in 1978, Polanski pleaded guilty in the United States to unlawful sexual intercourse with a 13-year-old, and then he had to flee,
this
right?
is what I heard, yeah.
Bad news.
Yep.
That's bad stuff. Okay, so there he is, Roman Polanski. Look at you, on fire now, 5 for 5. You are killing it. Okay, let's go to the next one. I don't know if you're going to get this one. Here we go.
Lech Wałęsa, Polish president.
The Polish president himself. Say it again.
Lech Wałęsa.
Is he still the president?
No, long time ago. It was communist that time.
That's right.
Yeah.
So do people like him or not like him?
Yeah, so much.
They like him?
Yeah.
What about Polanski? They don't like him.
They like him. But still,
controversial.
like, yeah, controversial.
Yeah. So anyhow, this is the former president of Poland. He's a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. And he's credited with changing the Polish political system. So people like him.
Called Solidarność.
Yes, there it is.
Yep.
Solidarity. In 1989, after the fall of the Soviet Union, he persuaded leaders from the formerly communist parties to form the first non-communist coalition government.
Yep.
Unbelievable. He's still alive.
Yes.
Yes. You know, it's interesting. In 2000, he ran for president, but didn't get any support. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Do you vote?
It got changed,
Do you vote?
That time not.
But now you do.
Yeah, I do.
I feel like people want to have you on their side. I feel like a lot of the politicians.
Last time they choose new president.
Yeah.
So I've got lots of pictures that they put me on the list.
Wow.
Lots of people.
That's dirty, and you didn't.
They made fun of it.
Okay, so now we're 6 for 6.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Did you think you would do this well? I didn't think so. Okay, here we go. This one's tough. I don't know if you're gonna get this one. Here we go. Name that Pole.
Ooh, man.
I don't think you're gonna
Is
get.
he Polish?
You know, I feel this is it's almost not fair on my part. This man is Mike Krzyzewski. Do you know who Mike Krzyzewski is? Well, he's Polish American. His family's from Poland, but he's a very famous basketball coach. He is a coach for Duke University, one of the greatest coaches of all time, Hall of Famer, legend.
So I didn't know.
He's the son of a Polish American, Catholic parents. This man, you need to know who he is, Mike Krzyzewski. So it's a bit of a trick. I tried to trick you, but he's Polish American. You see his name? Krzyzewski, Krzzyze.
Krzyzewski.
Yeah, Krzyzewski.
But he was born in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, you got good eyes. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, so there's Mike. So you learned something new.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's
okay.
good.
So I won't. I still say you're 6 for 6. That was kind of a curveball. Okay, who's next? Name that Pole. How about that?
Joanna Krupa?
Wow.
Yep.
So what do people think about her? She's a very famous model here, and she's on TV.
She's working for TV, doing some, all kind of stuff. She's very famous.
Do you like
They're
her?
laughing about her accent because she speaks more English than Polish.
Okay.
But she's very nice.
You like her?
Yeah, I like her.
Have you ever met her?
No.
Beautiful lady.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. She's
Lots of famous Polish models.
are beautiful.
Yep.
And are famous. But she's famous here in the U.S. because I think she has a reality show or something.
Yeah, probably.
Do they follow her over there in Poland? They don't like her anymore.
No, they like her.
They do.
They like her. Yeah.
But they're bigger names. She's getting a little old, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Anyhow, this was a younger picture of Joanna Krupa or Joanna Krupa.
No, but she still looks the same,
Still looks the same.
Always young.
Where was she born?
I don't know.
Warsaw.
Warsaw.
She's been in every single magazine possible. Okay, there she is, still alive, 1979 she was born. Okay, here's the next one. Name that Pole. This is another tough one. How about that? What do you think?
Marcin Gortat.
No,
He's not.
close. So I was gonna do Marcin Gortat, but that'd be too easy, right? This is Maciek Lampe.
Lamp.
You know him? Lamp.
Yeah, I heard.
You heard of him?
I heard.
So you know, it's a funny story about him. He was drafted by my beloved New York Knicks way back when, like in 2000 or something. And I really thought he was going to be a great player. But then they traded him to Phoenix for Stephen Marbury. Is he a big deal there? Not really?
It's more about Marcin Gortat.
He's the best.
Yeah.
The most famous NBA player?
Yes, he's
Yeah.
doing the charity game between the Polish army and the famous people. So he's
You were
very
supposed to
big.
play in it, right?
Yeah, I supposed to, but I cannot because of the injury.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Are you upset?
I'm not. I gonna watch it.
You're going to go there
Maybe I will see.
on TV?
Yep.
Was
No,
that the
I gonna be in Glasgow that time.
Okay. Was that the first time they asked you to do it? To be a part of it?
yes,
That's a
yes.
big deal.
Yep.
Have you ever met Marcin?
No.
He's wearing a Polska...
But we have the same friends.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
He's wearing that's the national team?
Probably yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maciek Lampe. I wonder if he's still playing these days. I think he's actually playing in Spain. He's born in Lodz.
Which?
Łódź.
Yeah.
How about that? Horrible. Why are we so bad at speaking the Polish names? It's very embarrassing. Okay, hey, here's our next one. Name that Pole. Here we go. How about that?
Dorota Rabczewska, the nickname Doda.
Doda. I heard that she is
Your eyes are big.
well, she is a very nice looking lady. A Polish Britney Spears.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She is.
How do people feel about her?
Different.
Do you like her?
Like yes.
Pop star.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. You know, she has Hebrew writing on her arm over there. You see that?
Yeah.
You know what that says? That
They-
means to love Radek.
Radek, yeah.
Her husband.
Radek, he was a soccer player.
Okay.
Now he's like a superstar in Poland, kind of like celebrity, yeah.
Like a
But-
socialite.
Yeah.
How do you feel about them as a couple? Not a fan.
They're not together anymore.
Oh, what happened?
I don't know.
So she has a tattoo
Yeah.
with his name, and they're not even together.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's why don't do it.
Don't do it. How do you feel about marriage? Do you want to get married?
Yes, I wanna.
But no tattoos and names.
No.
It's just, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is she still famous?
Kind of. Yeah.
Do you listen to her music or no?
No.
Okay. Here we go. Name that Pole. We only got 2 more left. How about this guy? Actually, this is the last one. This is a tough one, but I wanted to keep
Andrew
him last.
Golota?
Close. You know, it's funny. I was going to do Andrew Golota.
No, let me think.
Okay. So this is another tricky one. It's an American.
Is it a wrestler?
Yes.
Was he a wrestler?
Polish Canadian.
I don't know.
Killer Kowalski.
Kowalski?
You know him?
No.
Walter Killer Kowalski, one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time.
Oh, so I didn't hear about.
He's the son of Polish immigrants, and he grew up in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I mean, this is a legend right here. This man has trained many of the great wrestlers of today. You're going to read about him.
Yeah.
I thought it would be good. Golota, too easy. Killer Kowalski, that man, I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than him.
I must check.
Do you like professional wrestling?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
You didn't grow up
It's
watching
very
that?
popular in America, but in Poland, not that much.
No. Maybe that's why you don't know Killer Kowalski. All right, so there it is. Name that Pole. What'd you think?
Yeah, I had fun.
You had fun?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know if you're telling
Did
me
I
the
win
truth.
some?
Yes,
Donuts?
you won a third donut, which I have right over here for you, and this newspaper. I should have done that at the end as your present. But I got to say, I was really impressed with your knowledge, especially of the early ones, because I didn't know Chopin. Marie Curie. I didn't know that they were from Poland.
Yeah.
Because Chopin's a French name.
Yes, it is kind of.
And soon one day, you know what? In 50 years, someone's going to play this game, and you're going to be up there as one of the famous Polish people, and there'll be a young girl or guy, you know, and you'll be able, is that what you want? You want to be known? Is that what you're most proud of, your Polish heritage?
Yes, why not?
Yeah.
I would like to.
Hopefully they're about to tell me that the phones are working and we can get back to Michael Bisping. Yes?
More questions for you.
Okay.
I'm realizing now how negative they were. So
Jesus,
I'm trying to.
is this a reflection on your current state of mind?
No, well, these were selected much earlier in the show when we were rolling along.
Tell me about your experience at NXT this weekend.
It was awesome. I could not recommend going to see a live wrestling event more highly. It was a lot of fun. And I didn't even like miss commentary. A lot of times when I'm at like a fight event, like a UFC event or, kickboxing or whatever the case may be, you really start to feel like you're missing the commentary because there's lulls and kind of, silence and downtime. But the WWE event really flowed nicely and the crowd chants and all that stuff.
How did you even end up there?
A friend of a friend works for WWE.
What?
And had
what
some
do they
tickets.
do?
They're in...
Is this like a top secret thing?
You don't like to talk about these things.
Why not? Just tell me his job.
It's actually a she.
Okay, even
and
better.
She works in like talent relations.
Talent relations?
Yeah.
Why don't you hook us up with some guests? Could have had a guest today on the show.
No, not that end of it. The other way, like entertainers like getting involved with the WWE.
Oh, did she get the Green Arrow guy at SummerSlam?
I'm sure they were involved with that.
That's interesting. So they get like celebrities to the events.
Yeah.
So basically,
like connecting with the the
so she got you. She got you to the show. You're the celeb.
Yeah, that was it. I had a run-in.
So for anyone who doesn't know, NXT is like the spin-off, but not so much the spin-off. It's like the AAA of WWE. Yet they have some veterans.
Yeah, Kevin Owens was there. He was fighting the next night on SummerSlam,
which I don't like. It's like either you're in or you're out.
Oh, he gave it his all though.
No, I know, but from like a character standpoint, it feels like he's living double life. Okay, fine. So you have that. And then you have, legends like Jushin Liger. And then you have Samoa Joe, who, if you've been following wrestling, I mean, this guy...
Now, I looked on Wikipedia, and apparently Jushin Liger is 50 years old.
Yeah. Who knows if it's the same guy, but...
But that's pretty incredible. That if he was 50, then God bless him. He looked great.
Well, so's The Undertaker in that range.
Yeah, but he was doing a lot more athletic kind of moves than...
Absolutely. The one thing I'll say, I did tune in, more so because I was curious about the crowd, that they were able to sell out an arena like Barclays Center. I heard that they released 200 tickets on Saturday and sold them out in 20 seconds. So I was curious about the Brooklyn crowd and all that stuff. My one gripe was that it felt too rehearsed. It felt too scripted. Like, it's clear that it's the minor leagues to a degree. Some of the characters, they're figuring it out, all that stuff. But when the minor leagues are presented on a stage like that where it looks like the big leagues, it's hard to remind yourself that this is, for the most part, a group of athletes who aren't quite ready for the big leagues. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get that feeling from the audience. Now, I'm not watching, on TV with the tight camera angles and seeing that, very up close. I'm kind of just seeing the outlines of moves and seeing all that type of stuff from the crowd. And also, I have this, raucous, 15,000 plus person crowd that's around me, and you get really into it. So I didn't get that sense. Like, I thought it was fantastic. Everything looked awesome, and all the matches were a lot of fun. But I could understand that. I'm sure if I went back and watched it on the network,
But the crowd was fantastic.
Oh, it was bonkers.
The experience was
it was something that I would recommend for anybody. I could not recommend it more highly.
Even if you didn't know who these people were.
I don't know enough. Like, I wouldn't
feel like you're a
consider
closet wrestling fan. Like, you keep dropping these little clues here and there. I mean, you're showing up to NXT events. It takes a special kind of wrestling fan to do that.
I love the idea of like wrestling as a business. Like, I listen to all the podcasts because I like the idea of, like, I like when they talk about behind the scenes type stuff. I like when they talk about work versus shoot stuff. But I don't really follow the wrestling. But I like the wrestling business is very fascinating to me.
Yeah. And there are a lot of similarities.
To the fight business. Sure.
Well, to the MMA business in particular. More similarities between wrestling and MMA than wrestling and boxing, just based on how the organizations are structured and the promoters and all that stuff. I know Brock compared Dana and Vince McMahon last week, and that got people all in a tizzy. But, yeah.
No, I do like that aspect of it.
But let's give credit where it's due.
About it.
If you don't understand what NXT is, that's fine. I'm telling you, it's a minor league to a degree. It's kind of a quasi-minor league spin-off promotion that's not that old, and that was able to sell out a major league arena like the Barclays Center. That's incredible. That is amazing. How about my man Kevin Owens dropping that promo? Did you see that promo where he called the wrestling fans in Florida the John Cena of wrestling fans? Did you see that?
No.
You don't even know what's going on. Well, you can't look at you. You show up to NXT just because it's the cool thing to do in the borough, and you don't even know what's going on.
Nah, get out of here.
What do you mean? You don't even know about the promo.
I'm there
I know
to
about
watch
the promo.
I'm there to watch a great show. I'm not there to watch, every promo that they've ever cut in their lives.
This is maybe the best promo since the CM Punk Las Vegas promo.
Oh God. Wait, that happened in Las Vegas?
You know which one I'm talking about? When Cena got thrown against the table, and then he sat there and he was like, "Hey, Cole Cabana," that whole thing.
Oh, I thought he did I thought the pipe bomb was the famous one. There's another
one. The
one.
most famous one is Las Vegas.
It's more famous than the pipe bomb.
This is the pipe bomb.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know about that. I didn't know what happened in Las Vegas, but I know about that one.
I think it was actually the MGM. Either MGM or Mandalay. Anyway, so you went to NXT. You loved it. How many T-shirts did you buy?
None, but
not one. Nothing. No souvenir.
I'm not buying T-shirts. I don't buy like.
Not even like an ironic one. Something.
No, I'm not there to be ironic. I'm not there to make fun. I'm not there to become a super hardcore fan either. I wanted to see a good show, and I saw a great one.
Okay, and then to make matters worse, you went
wait.
You went to a Major League Gaming sort of event?
No. Major League Gaming is like an organization, like a league. This one was not MLG. This one was, I think, Riot, the makers of League of Legends, hosted this one. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong about that, but this was the North American Championship for League of Legends.
Which is North American Championship. And what is League of Legends?
League of Legends is a computer game that's the most played game ever in history. Across computers, consoles, all that stuff.
The most
played downloaded game.
Because it's an internet game?
Yeah.
It's an online game?
It's an online game.
And what is the premise of said game?
You control a character and you fight on a team. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay, so it's called League of Legends, and people actually watch other people play this game.
So they packed MSG to sit. Crazy. The people from MSG to sit in an arena and watch people play on computers.
The hell is wrong with this world? Come on, be honest. Is it interesting at all?
I thought I had a great time as well. I went into this weekend thinking I'm gonna hang out with my friends and have a decent time.
Did you go with the same people?
No, different people.
Okay.
And I had a way better time than expected at both of these things.
Which one did you enjoy more?
It's hard to say because I really enjoyed them both. It's very different. Like the crowd for WWE is insane. Like the atmosphere there and the energy of the arena is completely different. Whereas I was more interested in actually what was happening on the screen with the video games because it was more exciting. It's a championship. It's
You were more into the video game screen? What?
Yeah,
that is crazy.
It's real drama. It's not a performance.
So you're able to understand something's going. It's like watching a movie.
Well, no, the WWE is more like watching a movie.
No, but I mean, in a movie, you're watching a guy going through wherever he is, killing people. That's a movie.
It's like watching a sports event. It was closer. I'd say it was actually closer to a sports event than the WWE was.
What? The WWE was in a ring. It was.
But this was real competition.
How many teams?
2 teams. It was the finals.
So what is it like? Is it everyone playing at the same time, or is it like the IFL?
There's 5 guys versus 5 guys, and they're all playing at the same time.
Against each other?
Yeah.
Or separate games?
Team of 5 versus team of 5, all in one game.
And is it like kind of capture the flag where you have to kill the other people?
Well, no, capture the flag, you would have to capture the flag. Sure. This is, they're in skirmishes. So every player controls one one character, and they fight on the screen.
I can't believe MSG would stoop to this level.
How dare you,
I mean,
sir?
what a sad state of affairs
How
over
dare
at the
you.
Mech. So, how long does this last?
This was the championship.
What do you mean the championship?
This is the North American Championship.
And then they go into what? The World Series?
They go on to the World Championship, where they're
Wow.
going to get beat by the Koreans or the Chinese.
Where were these people from?
Some of them were from other places. Like, I think you're allowed to have players from other countries, but mostly Americans.
No, but like the North American, is it like Chicago versus
No, it's
Boston?
not. It's not like that. It's it's like sponsored teams. They have coaches. They have
Get outta here.
They have managers. They have coaches. They have apparel. Like they have jerseys and stuff.
How do they introduce them? Do they come down a ramp?
They they kind of walked out from behind stage and
That's boring.
gave a wave to the crowd. But no, they introduced it was like up first is some whatever the guy's name, like Ario the Nose Helwani, and then they'd have the guy come out and there was like pyro and stuff. It was pretty cool.
And people are going nuts. Like they know who these people are.
They know exactly who these specific people are.
And what about the jerseys? Are people walking around wearing those? Like, is it, I got a Kevin Durant-esque?
Yeah.
Really?
There's the fandom for this is incredible.
Wow.
The people knew all.
How many people?
How many people competing or were there in the arena?
In the arena.
It's hard to say because they scale it differently for like different things, but it was I think it was equivalent to like a concert where like there was a
over
stage
10K?
For sure over 10K.
What?
At least 15, I have to think.
That is wild.
They sold out, MSG like a performer would.
So are you watching it on the big screen?
Yes.
And elsewhere?
There's other.
But
Yep.
that's back.
We're back.
I wonder what someone will think if they just tune in now for some strange reason. What has happened to the MMA Hour? I'm just very fascinated by this. I saw a Real Sports story on this, and I find it very bizarre. I feel like it's really this is the sign of the apocalypse that people are actually into this sort of thing.
I don't feel that way. I'm kind of excited about this, and I don't even.
What does that
I don't
mean?
Even
Are
play,
you gonna get into it?
No, I don't play these games. It's the same thing with the wrestling. I had an amazing time, but
Yeah.
it didn't compel me to watch or play it.
I would be curious to check it out just to see how bizarre it is. I have an open mind when it comes to these things. I'm not one of these, hoity-toity people. I think if you're a wrestling fan, you can kind of see the wrestling and all this stuff. And I really
What do you
think
mean by that?
I feel like all of this is sports entertainment. All of this is theatrics. All of this
Oh, I
is
see.
good guy
Okay,
versus
okay,
bad guy.
okay.
If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a wrestling fan, you can appreciate this wacky society that we live in and the subcultures that reside in it. I feel like people who don't get wrestling are a certain kind of person who just can't suspend disbelief. Like they can't just think outside the box. I mean, I just really feel like people who take themselves so seriously. Like I saw ESPN covering SummerSlam. I thought that was really cool. Great. They were thinking outside the box. It's a quiet sports weekend. But then I see other people commenting like, what the hell is ESPN doing? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, just relax. Stop taking yourself so serious. So I get it. I'm not trying to put these people down. I just feel like watching someone play a video game is there commentary?
Oh, there's commentary, yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is big stuff.
Okay. I know. I saw the Real Sports story. I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. One guy was like a mega star. He's taking pictures of people signing
yeah.
autographs.
These guys are celebrities.
They sold out the
There were
Staples
lots
Center.
of people there saying, I'm here for this guy or that guy. They're
amazing.
They're big celebrities. And
Now, what's the demographic breakdown at these things?
very young.
Very young, all males?
And I think not all males, no. So, there were a lot of females, a lot of cosplayers and things like that.
What is that?
Where you dress up like the characters.
Oh, get the hell out of here.
Oh, yeah.
There's people walking around like that?
Oh, yes.
They're walking around as the characters
How's
from the
that
game?
much different? Like, that's like
Yeah, you're right.
when I went to WWE, there were people dressed up as Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I know, but are they dressed, like, what are these characters? Are they, like,
they're a little
furries?
more, not furries, but there's like characters that are animals and things like
Oh,
that.
my gosh. And when you say young, do you mean, like, sub 18?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, there's definitely high school kids and junior high school kids there.
With parents?
But there's also no. I mean, most of them seemed alone. But there's
Wow.
also like older people, older than myself, and
Get out of here.
I think I'm old.
What's the
too
oldest
old
person you saw? Like, someone in their 50s?
Someone in their 50s, yeah.
Probably there was with his kid.
Probably, but I think it skews younger for sure, but it reaches all demographics.
And how long was this, you said?
So it was a best of 5 that went only 3 fights.
Is there an
3
undercard?
matches. No, no.
It's just straight into it.
Yeah, it was a best of 5 that lasted only 3 bouts or 3, matches. So it was like, I'd say game time, it was like an hour and a half. But there was other theatrics. There's promos. There's video packages.
Promos? Like they're talking smack?
Oh yeah, they're doing
outta
interviews,
here.
and the guys are like, "Oh, that guy's trash. Like he's
What?
not a good player in this specific way, or this guy." And then they're cutting to the commentary team, and they're cutting to people who lost earlier in the tournament, who are giving their opinion on the matchup. It's legit.
So bizarre. What's the production like?
I think there's even like Ariel Hawani's of the
outta here.
the esports
Reporters.
Yeah, there's definitely guys who
if it's
fill that
big,
role.
If it's that big, I would imagine there's a media contingency.
I think,
I wonder if there was.
Dare I say it? I think it's bigger than our small little bubble.
You really
Much
think so?
bigger.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, if they could sell out. First of all, how crazy is it that they can do that at MSG and not MMA? But I get why. I mean, one's just a video game, the other one is combat sports. But I wonder what industry generates more money. I mean, I guess if you compare the video game industry to the MMA industry, it's not even close.
But there's a way to compare maybe just professional gaming, and I would have to think just based on what I saw and what I think I know, which is not as much as most. I think that they might have a bigger draw than we do.
That is bizarre. So you enjoyed it?
It was awesome.
There was never a point where you were like, "What the hell am I doing here?"
Well, again, like my friends were into it. Like I think
what does that mean when
you
you say they're into it?
Like they play
this?
it themselves, so they know like the strategies and the techniques that are going on. So I think a lot of it matters, like what kind of crowd you're with. And for NXT and for this League of Legends championship, it was a very good crowd, and I had a great time.
What a weekend you had!
It was
NXT?
nice.
When was that?
Nice.
Sunday?
That was Saturday, and the video game thing was on Sunday.
Sunday night?
Sunday afternoon into evening.
You spent a beautiful Sunday afternoon watching people play video games.
How dare you?
It's a bizarre thing, but I appreciate the open-mindedness. I think that's it's good to check out.
Look,
these things.
I wasn't going in thinking that I was gonna start picking up the game and be a convert. I just wanted to have a good time and see a good show, and I feel like on Saturday and Sunday both times I got a
Why
really
didn't you
good
go
show.
to SummerSlam? Why didn't your WWE friend?
I didn't want to be greedy. I mean, come on now.
Wait, did you pick NXT?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
That was never on the table. I'm not famous enough. I'm not Jon Stewart.
Wait, did someone reach out to you and say, "Hey, New York Rick of MMA Hour fame, I have this," or was it a friend who said, "Hey"?
No, it was a friend.
While we're shooting the breeze here and trying to figure out the phones, why don't you tell us about your weekend last weekend? You live a very, very an eventful life. It's just always something going on.
Is that how you describe it, eventful?
Where were you last weekend?
I was in New Orleans for my bachelor party.
Now, before we actually get into what happened here, is it not true that you picked New Orleans over Montreal?
That is no, that is not true. My friends who are organizing a bachelor party, you do not choose your own destination. They chose.
You can if you want.
They chose New Orleans over Montreal. Now, is it not true that you forgot that I had a bachelor party?
Well, yes. I mean, how am I supposed to remember these things? I can hardly even remember, what the hell day it is. I mean, trust me, I got more problems on my hands. It was up to you to remind me. As I asked you to remind me, you did not remind me. But anyway, you went to New Orleans on your bachelor party. Was it a success? I mean, was it something that, oh wow, the bachelor party? I mean, this is something people dream about, think about. Your bachelor party in New Orleans. Hopefully, you only have one in your lifetime.
I will only have one. I love my wife dearly.
Well, I mean, just saying. She might not feel the same.
How dare you? You know what? I am.
Is he gone? Is that it? I just wanted to know if it lived up to your expectations. That's all. Look, I can't do interviews with anyone else. I actually think he didn't do that. Oh, did he do it?
Here we go.
Okay. What did you do? Did you unplug it?
They're messing around with the board over there.
But it felt like you actually did that yourself.
I may have.
I'm jonesing to interview someone, so I have to resort to interviewing you. That's how pathetic my life has become.
I think this might be our highest rated segment of all time.
Can you tell me if it lived up to your expectations?
I didn't really have expectations because I didn't, I'm not like a party person. I don't go out to clubs or to bars or anything like that. I don't even actually drink. So, I didn't have an expectation that it would be some kind of like debauched event, but it was nice. I had a good time. We went fishing. I caught quite a few fish. I happen to be an expert fisherman.
Wow. Really? You've done it before?
Never done it before,
Oh,
but
wow.
you know,
Okay.
what they say, beginner's luck. I was quite good. Caught
I've
some
always wanted to
catfish.
fish. I've never fished before in my life. I've always wanted to go to like a very
We should go.
quiet. Yeah. Let's not get crazy. We had enough of you on this one day. You'll be lucky if I ever come back to this damn show. If you ever see me again. But what did you catch?
Catfish and
Wow.
redfish.
You love catfish.
I love catfish.
Is
as you
it
know.
not true that you used to eat catfish every day for lunch?
It's not true, but I used to get fried catfish from a local area, and it would the smells would.
Why no more?
I don't know.
Is it not good for you?
No particular reason. No, fish is great for you in general,
Yeah, well.
but it is fried.
Oh, it's fried. So did you eat the catfish?
We got to take it to a restaurant and cook up. They cooked up our catfish that we caught fresh, so we got to eat it, which is a really nice experience.
What else did you catch?
Redfish.
What's that? Tuna?
It's a white fish, so it's like, you know,
What?
a very flaky
The
kind of.
white fish is the red fish?
Well, you know what I mean. Like it's like a
I really thought it was going to be red.
not tuna. Like it's more like a what are some crappy fish? Like, you know, it's like the flaky white fish. Cod, yeah, like cod or something like that.
Oh, that's a good fish. I like that. But it's called redfish? That's its actual name?
Yeah, because it's red on the outside. On the inside, it's
No, but it
it's
doesn't
red.
have like a real name, like a halibut or something like that.
No.
It's such a boring name.
So
you caught that? Did you
Caught
wear?
it,
Did you
ate
wear?
it.
Did you wear an outfit while you were
I
fishing?
wore a tiara. No.
No. What I want to do is wear like one of those overalls with the high boots in the water. I guess it's called fly fishing, right?
Yeah, no, that is fly fishing, but we
That's what I
were in
wanna
a
do.
boat. We were in a boat.
Fly fishing, by the way, why is it called fly fishing? Are you using flies as your bait?
No, I think because there's something on the line that's like called a fly or something like that.
I love fly fishing.
Wait, you love it? You never done it?
No, I've never done it, but it just seems so peaceful.
Yeah, there's an artificial fly on the line that's used to catch fish. But it's not in the sense that it's not like a fly that buzzes around.
I want to go to North Carolina, Tobacco Road, something like that. I guess you can't do a lot of
I have
fishing.
to tell you, this fishing talk on the MMA Hour
Yeah.
is...
Well, look, I'm just trying to entertain myself at this point. No one else. I do see 100 people still on the stream, and I appreciate those people very much. 133 to be exact. They're just waiting, hoping, praying that something is salvaged. And here I am. I mean, we're broadening our horizons here. Anyway,
This
so
is
you
how we
went
get the new
fishing.
viewers.
What else did you do? Yeah, this is definitely how we get the new viewers.
I had a few drinks for the first time in quite a long time.
Okay.
I haven't had alcohol since we did that UFC fit thing. All the way back then.
Get out of here.
No, I stopped drinking completely after that.
Not once.
Like maybe a beer like one time, but I pretty much cut alcohol completely out.
Okay.
So that, I mean, obviously I didn't stay as skinny as I was back then, which was too skinny in my opinion, but I was healthy as a damn horse. But I did completely cut alcohol out of my diet, which is one great thing that came out of that. So yeah, I had a few drinks on Bourbon Street, as one would do when they're in New Orleans.
Yes.
And then...
How long were you there for?
I was there for the weekend only.
It sounds like a great time. I still feel like you would have had a better time in Montreal.
I'm sure I would have.
How many people?
4 people. Me and my 3 groomsmen.
That's it.
Yeah.
Did you share a room?
No, we had 2 rooms. How was your bachelor party?
It was great. It was like 8 years ago, though. So no one cares about that. It was a different man, different time, different place. I said to you before the show, I said, I don't know what I'm looking forward to more, the actual show or the end of the show. I am so relieved that everyone showed up. I am relieved that everyone brought it and then some. Holy moly, what a show. What a cast of characters, right? And I'm happy that people tuned in because it appears as though we had some pretty good viewership, right?
We had huge numbers. We had a lot of questions. Do you want to do some questions?
Yes, I'd love to. We have, they've allowed us to go a little bit longer, right? Just a little bit.
They have.
It's very nice.
And
of
while
them.
you want to do questions, we're not actually going to do questions.
Why?
We have a message from a special fan.
Okay.
And we're going to play that in lieu of questions today.
What?
Thank you, everybody, for submitting some fantastic questions.
We have to answer questions. We must.
So we're going to, in lieu of that, take a message from one special person.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, God.
my name is Andrew Mayer, and most of you know me as the advocate for the reigning, defending UFC champion Daniel Cormier. There's something you don't know about me. Long before I was Daniel Cormier's advocate, and long after, I have always been, and I always will be, an Ariel Helwani guy. Now I'm talking to one man and one man only, Ariel Helwani. Ariel, you are an inspiration, a role model, and a pioneer in the MMA community. I can't thank you enough for all you've done, and the MMA Hour giving us all fans an outlet to hear the gossip and hear the trash talk each Monday. So thank you, and I would say I'm your biggest fan, but there's a couple people that might have a problem with that.
You know, I've been around long enough that I remember when you first came on the scene, and it's been pretty amazing watching you build the MMA Hour into what it is. So, congratulations on the 300th episode, and hey, maybe by the 600th episode, your Bills may have finally beat the Patriots.
Ariel Helwani.
Oh.
300 episodes.
Man with a hat.
300 times you've been back in our lives, man. That's an awful long time. I'm not sure whether to laugh or cry about that, but congratulations on the milestone. You've come a long way from that quiet kid who wouldn't come out of his dorm room at Syracuse, my man. Keep up the good work. Here's to 300 mo.
Ariel Helwani.
What?
Without you, I would not be in the position I'm currently in. And when I say position I'm currently in, I mean hated by 90% of the MMA fighting fan base. But in all seriousness, congratulations on the greatest show in mixed martial arts, the MMA Hour. You are the best in the business. It is a privilege to be on your team.
Congratulations, Ariel. Wow, man, 300 shows. That's a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. You're the hardest working man I know in this business. I can't thank you enough for all the opportunities you've given me throughout the years. Congratulations again. You deserve all of your success. On to the next 300.
Wow. Hey Ariel, congratulations on your 300th show. I'm really proud of you. This is really awesome, and it's been an honor to work with you all these years.
Congratulations, Ariel Helwani, on your 300th episode. I just found out you even had a podcast, so this is even more exciting. Congratulations.
Hi, Fera. Thank you for putting on 300 amazing shows and making our Mondays better. To celebrate this, I had to come to our favorite place on earth and have one for you.
Yes.
Parabéns.
Who's this?
Way back in the day, there was the Beatles and there was Ali, and Ariel Helwani was a student at Ithaca College. And that's where I first remember him. And I just want to say, after 300 episodes of the MMA Hour spanning how many years? Congratulations, Ariel. You've done a wonderful job with your career, and it's just great. It's great to be working with you for all this time.
Maybe this one. Maybe this one.
This is unbelievable.
Maybe this one. You know, hey, Ariel, I'm just looking for an appropriate shirt for an appearance on the MMA Hour. I mean, you've had 300 of them. I figure I'll get invited to one someday. But for now, I offer you a shirtless congratulations.
Hey, Ariel, Brian Stan here, man. Congratulations, 300th episode. Don't let it go to your head, although I'm sure you will. I will see you soon, buddy, and congrats again.
Yo, Ariel, happy 300th episode.
This is
I don't really like you that much, but I'm still going to congratulate you because 300 episodes is a lot. Stay up, buddy.
Ariel, I just want to say congratulations on your 300th episode of MMA Hour, the Howard Cosell of MMA. That's you, buddy. Congratulations, my good friend, and thank you for always putting me on the spot and making me feel uncomfortable. And you know that's hard to do, because I got no shame, but you find a way to bring it out of me. Thank you, my man. Peace.
What's up, Ariel? This is Anthony Romo Johnson and Mad Max.
This is
I just
crazy.
want to congratulate you on your 300th episode of MMA Hour, man. I wish you nothing but success.
Ariel wanted the whole MMA Hour. You guys set the bar. Congratulations on your 300th episode.
T. Wood.
Congrats on your 300th episode. I love watching it.
I can't believe these people even know who I am.
Congrats, buddy. We love
Leah.
you. Woohoo.
Hey, man, I just want to say congratulations on the 300th
TJ.
episode. I'm a big fan. Always watch your stuff. Keep it going.
What's up, bitch? Ariel Helwani, 300 show. What's up, man? Give me a call. I want to come back on later, man.
Hey, Ariel, congratulations. 300 episodes. That's amazing. People, you know, they know you as the male model that you are, but
It's your great mind that they keep tuning in for, so keep it up, brother.
What's up, Ariel? 300th episode MMA Hour. Proud to have you, brother. You're a great addition to the sport. Stay for 300 more.
Congratulations on your 300th show.
This is crazy.
I remember when it was your first show with me back at AKA when we got in trouble for that big deal, and you went in there and a little nervous, but very professional. I'm happy to say I'm glad where you you accomplished all these goals, and you're the best.
Congratulations, Ariel, on 300 episodes.
Congratulations, Ariel.
Straight from
DC son. Daughter.
Congratulations, Ariel. It's been awesome. You've been my first interview since the start of the game. Probably my last. It's been a pleasure. Wish you the best. You're the best. What can I say, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, Ariel? One day, just want to congratulate you on your MMA Hour show on the 300th episode. It's an amazing thing what you do for the sport. And besides all of that, we need to play a game of basketball. I'm a black man. I don't play much basketball, but I got some hoops, and I think I can out-dribble you. And another thing, I always appreciate you always having my back and always pushing me to do things that I don't want to do. But like I said, man, congratulations on 300th episode. That's a big thing, and keep up the good work, buddy. Wani knows.
Hey, what's up, Errol? Just want to congratulate you on your 300th MMA Hour episode.
The pioneer.
And I really don't care what Andy says about you. You're the man.
Ariel, mazel tov. I'm so happy for you.
This is unbelievable.
Ariel Helwani, congratulations on number 300. You're the best, baby.
Ariel Helwani, congratulations on 300 episodes, and I hope you get 3,000 more, buddy. Good job.
Ariel, congratulations on your 300th episode.
Sean Shelby.
You made it.
Ariel, congratulations on your 300th episode of the MMA Hour, and this is as close to an exclusive interview as you're ever going to get.
Ariel, congratulations. 300 episodes. H-Town, stand up.
Ariel, Devin Sow here.
Wow.
I'd like to congratulate you first on being
incredible.
Canadian.
Yes.
And
Go Canada.
second, on doing 300 episodes of one of the coolest shows out there, the MMA Hour, which I'm a huge fan of, and I've been watching or listening to for quite some time. So thank you, and congratulations.
Helwani, it is Skylar Aston reporting live from Los Angeles. Just want to say happy 300th episode of the MMA Hour. You have made all of my MMA fanboy dreams come true by being a guest on the show and on the MMA beat. So I just want to say mazel tov. I am proud to call you a buddy, and you'll always be my favorite. Helwani knows.
Wow, 300 years of the MMA Hour. That is an incredible amount of time to be covering a sport that has only existed since the 90s. Everybody knows the MMA Hour is the Mooney podcast. You go on the MMA Hour, it's a red panty night. I've been on the MMA Hour like 600 times. But I mean, I'm the Reem, so could you blame them? Thanks for everything, guys, and congratulations. Yeah, congrats, you instigating mother... Hey, Ariel, congratulations on your 300th show. It'll probably only make it to 301, but congratulations.
I gotta tell you, it means a mix of emotions. It means a certain sense of accomplishment, a certain sense of pride, gratitude. National Podcast Day, #Podcast Day was this past Wednesday. Gave me a chance to reflect on our 6.5-year journey, our journey with the fans, all our supporters over the years. We've been through a lot from the AOL days to now the SB Nation days. Many producers, many people work behind the scenes. And here we are, 300. And some said I couldn't top 200. Some question whether we'd be able to recreate the magic of 200. Well, on Monday, October 5th, 2015, all the doubters will come home to roost because they will recognize that the best podcast period in the entire world has reached the milestone of 300. And when you reach a milestone like 300, you bring out the big guns.
Happy 300th episode.
Oh my
Say
God.
we love you, Daddy.
Love you.
Oh
We're very
my
proud of
gosh.
you. Have a great show. Walter, say love you.
Oh my. Yeah. Oh my God. What the heck? Oh my God. Huh?
So,
We're so proud.
we're at the M&M store in Times Square.
At Times Square.
We love you.
Love you.
Ariel.
Whoa, this is crazy.
300 shows. That's a big deal.
Not a lot of people can say that they've made it to this point, but I can't say that I'm surprised that you have. I know I'm a little bit biased, but I've watched you cover the sport since day one, and it's amazing to see the amount of time and effort and hard work that you've put into it. And I wanted to wish you a big congratulations on the first 300, and we're looking forward to the next 300, and keep doing what you do with all the passion and love that you do it with. We love you.
Hey Ariel, congrats on your 300th episode. I'm so proud of you and all that you've accomplished. I hope you know I'm your biggest fan, and that you can always attribute your success to your little sister who used to pretend to be your secretary and call all the fighters for you. Congrats, love you.
Congratulations, Ariel, on another milestone you have done. To say that I'm proud of you cannot describe how I am proud of you. I hope you continue to follow your dreams, to go places you've never been before, and to do all the things you want to do. I am truly overjoyed with your success. Mazal tov. Mama knows.
Hi Ariel, I understand you reached 300 shows. I'm very, very proud of you and what you've achieved so far. Extremely proud, in a matter of fact. You're a very courageous person, and once you set an aim, you make it happen. Congratulations, love you.
So I've been a part of, this show for nearly 200 episodes. It's been a real pleasure, real honor. And I think that this is the show that brings, MMA fans what they want every week. And you're the man responsible for that. So thank you, Ariel.
Oh, man. Why'd you do that to me? Oh, that was something else. Holy crap, I am blown away. I can't do this show anymore. That's it. That was that was the end. Wow. Thank you for that. Oh, God. It's only because I'm sick. Who's responsible for that?
All credit due to Andrew Mayer.
What?
Made it happen.
Oh, man. Thank you so much. What a great guy. Holy crap. That was unbelievable. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen. I am blown away. I am speechless. That was unbelievable. What can I say? Andrew Mayer, that is a special cat. That guy went to summer camp with my wife when they were little kids. And funny story, they were actually, I think, boyfriend-girlfriend for like a day. And I went to summer camp with them, and we were just kind of friends, no crazy connection. And then I went to Orlando to work on a show for Spike TV, and I was sitting down at a restaurant, and I heard a familiar voice, a raspy voice. And I said, whoa, I remember that voice. And it was Andrew Mayer. This is like 2006. And then we stayed in contact a little bit, and over the last 2 years or so, he's become obsessed with MMA, travels to all the events, has essentially become a part of Team DC. If you watch the Q&As, he often shows up talking about AKA, pumping up AKA. He did it at the Go Big press conference. A real special guy. When I moved recently, I was looking around for something to eat, and all of a sudden there was food on my floor. He had ordered Chinese food for my family. But this one tops it all. That was something else. Holy crap. How do you top that? Do we not have any questions?
We have no questions.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Oh, my God.
How about Dwight Howard's first appearance on the MMA?
He was sitting. I saw him from the Fox that he was sitting with freaking Dwight Howard. That was... Oh, I'm blown away. Well, what can you say? Thank you so much to everyone who appeared in that, and to everyone else who's a fan of this show and who has been watching. You know, I feel kind of weird. It's just 300 episodes. It's not the craziest thing in the world. It's only 6.5 years. But that was amazing. I hope everyone gets to experience something like that. That is something I will cherish until I am gone. That was unbelievable. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes. Thank you to MMA Fighting for giving me this platform. And Vox, I'd rather not be anywhere else but here, and that's why I'm so proud of this show and love the show so much. And thanks to the guys in the back, Alex, Mark, of course, New York Rick, a huge part of the show. There would not be a show without him. He works so hard behind the scenes. People think, I had someone come up to me, say like, oh, why don't you get a hot girl back there? I was like, what? Are you crazy? If you think I can't excuse his hair, but if you think that all he does back there is just look pretty and get some questions, you are sorely mistaken. He does an incredible job of rallying everything, and we don't have the great. This is just at the end of the day an internet show, so I think we disguise that very well. And thanks to those guys back there and everyone else who's worked on the show, from Josh back in the day to all the other guys in between till now. It is a true honor.